the meeting. Welcome, everyone. We'll begin our meeting tonight, August 6th at 6 o'clock. Introduction, let's start from Kevin's side.
Thank you, Chair. Good evening, everyone. My name is Kevin Lyon. Thank you for joining.
Hello, I'm Ian Wynn. Pleasure to have everybody. Thank you.
Good evening, folks. My name is Dan Mestis. Nice to have you. Thank you.
Chulan Superquark, we're waiting for Hey-Ho. He's went to get the cable. So this is Tammy, our neighborhood board assistant.
Laura Sturgis. Good evening, everyone.
We have Laura Sturgis online. And I believe we have Robert Armstrong online.
Yes, thank you, Chair. This is Robert Armstrong. I'm just a little under the weather today. Thank you for coming, and we look forward to a good meeting.
This is Hey-Ho. Good evening.
We're missing Nicole and we're missing Ross Isokani. So I'm not sure if they're online or they're late. So at this point, we will go on to item number 2, public safety reports. Honolulu Fire Department. Are we here? Honolulu Fire Department? They're not here. So we call upon the Honolulu Police Department. Sergeant?
Good evening. I'm Sergeant Kaleo Osaka. I'm one of 4 sergeants responsible for the supervision of the Chinatown area. Tonight, I'm going to go over the stats. And if you guys have any questions, Captain Scott Matsumura will answer the questions after I give out the stats. Okay, so for the month of July, motor vehicle thefts, we had 5. Burglaries, we had 2. Thefts, 22. UAMVs or unlawful entry to a motor vehicle with his auto break-ins, we had a total of 1. Assaults, we had 15. Sex assaults, there were 2. Graffiti cases, 0. Drug type cases, we had 4. Motor vehicle collisions, we had 88. Total calls for service for the month of July was 2,055. That's all the stats for July. So now I'm going to turn it over to Captain Matsumura for your questions. Thank you.
Welcome, Captain.
Evening. Just going over a couple of things that were brought up at the last Chinatown Neighborhood Board. So just to let you guys know and update you, we did work with DTS in getting some new signage installed on Kekalike Street. This is fronting the area by Oahu Market. And because of the new signage and everything, we've been doing heavy education and enforcement in that area. And over the last couple of weeks, we've issued approximately 98 parking citations for that loading zone over there. So hopefully with the continued addressing of those violations, that we will get people to comply with the new parking rules over there. And also there was a complaint last time regarding some illegal activity on Kukui Street and by the Longs loading zone area. Our day and night watch made numerous checks over the past couple of weeks. And they found no observed drug activity, but they did issue several citations, about 8 to 10 citations for various things such as sit-lie, obstructing sidewalk, and littering. And they'll continue to make checks of that area. There was also a complaint of a building at 180 North Nimitz Highway. That address, some of the addresses down there get to be a little bit different from what's on the tax map, but it should be the same building as the bottom of Kekalike and Nimitz. And that was a known possible game room area. So our Narcotics Spice Division was aware of it and they were doing an active investigation. However, that building was also the subject of a fire that happened on July 24th, late in the evening. And since that fire, that building has been shut down and has been vacated. So there's no activity at the present time. So other than that, you guys have any other questions?
Everyone will welcome Ross Isotani. He's online, right? Ross, are you there?
Oh, aloha. Thank you,
Yeah.
Chair. I'm here.
Welcome. Yeah. So, question, yeah. The gallery first. Yeah. Go ahead.
Thank you. This is Doug Pyle. I'm a resident of Kukui Plaza and appreciate the report back from last time on Kukui Street in particular, right near the school. It's right across the street from here. And a little surprised to hear that there was no observed or little observed. I'm not sure how you characterize that drug activity, because we're in the resident in that area observing daily, sometimes multiple times a day, sometimes the middle of the day when kids would be out there, especially now that school has started. And so what we have been reporting, I know I for one have been dialing 911 and describing that if a patrol car drives by, the folks are savvy enough to know to hide behind parked cars. And I've seen patrols pass by and not see the activity that we can see from our building on the sidewalk. So sit-lie is maybe a more effective way to, in case you don't see the actual activity. It's clear they're sort of camping out with the materials on the sidewalk. So that's fine too. At least it moves them out of the high-risk area near the school. And given that school is now coming into session, we have a safe pathway. That's something we want to make sure the kids don't have to pass through. Is there some other way to notice the drug activity as well as the sit-lie?
So when we're talking about the checks that were made and the no observed activity, that is regarding our patrol units, so our marked uniform units that do go by that area. So of course, it is very likely, like you said, that once they see the patrol car, they do hide. What I can tell you is that it is a well-known area that has been under investigation by our Narcotics Vice Division as well as some of our plainclothes units such as crew. As far as anything that they're doing, I cannot speak to that because those are confidential investigations.
Thank you. From the gallery, come forward.
Hi, everyone. I'm Shoshana Kahikala La'anui Wilcox Jackson. So my question is what about the noise coming from the excessive, loud motorcycles? Because I've called you guys a couple times, every weekend, they line up, I don't know, as far as I'm concerned, I believe it's illegal for them to be parking all their bikes on the sidewalk in front of Momo's or by Manifest.
Is this for smart workers?
This is during nighttime hours from, I want to say, around midnight to 2 o'clock when the bars close, or even into 3 o'clock. They be circling the block, they be stopping at the intersections and revving their engines really loud, to the point, I live at Chinatown Gateway Plaza, and it annoys not only myself, but other residents, or we cannot sleep. We don't have central air, we have open windows, so all that noise travels up. As you know, the higher elevation, the louder it gets. And yeah, I've called you guys countless times to deal with the matter. I know you guys dealt with the fire one time, so that was a good valid excuse for why you guys couldn't be out there. How you guys normally patrol or have what is that called? Sobriety checks or checkpoints and stuff like that. Another issue I wanted to bring up was also about signage for Hotel Street. No vehicles besides the bus or mopeds or bikes that's supposed to be on Hotel Street. When are you guys gonna update that with the city? Or start ticketing people that are driving on Hotel Street more?
So for that first complaint, yes, sorry, I don't have the stats. I know they do make checks for those motorcycle complaints. We have heard that over the past couple of neighborhood boards. So we'll try and check into that and see what stats we can get for the next time we can report back to you guys. As far as if it's ongoing though, yeah, I still encourage you guys to call, and then patrol will be dispatched right away to try and see if they can catch anybody and issue citations and do that kind of enforcement. As far as the, sorry, you said the Hotel Street, yeah. So I know over the last couple of neighborhood boards, when Interim Major Paul Okamoto was here, he did mention that we are working with DTS to improve the signage for Hotel Street as well, the bus-only lanes. I don't have a timeline for that. That's not really under our control. but they do know about it. They're going to do increased signage and I think repainting some of the intersections as well. So it makes it more clear because a lot of it too is when we find out when we do stop people, a lot of them tend to be tourists because they don't know and maybe the signage isn't clear. We do ticket people that go down there all the time. We can try and see what the timeline might be, but I'm not sure because it's not up to us. It's a different division or department in the city. So, but they do know about it and they are working on it, on increasing the signage and making it more clear that it's bus only.
Anyone else from the audience with questions for HPD? Okay, Dale.
My name is Dale Krupa. This is regarding 901 Kekalike Street, the building with the fire. I just went by there 15 minutes ago on my bicycle. On the ground floor, there's 3 doors that are open. One goes up to the 2nd floor that's burned out, and the other 2, there's unscrupulous characters still going in there. I go in by that building every day, and I want to know who or what is the process for getting the owner of the building to securely get it boarded up since it's been burned? That's basically.
Okay. Well, if it's a building violation like that, is something that we can probably refer to the Department of Permitting and Planning and Permitting regarding the status of the building. I know we are working, our narcotics vice division is working with the building owner. They were trying to work with them to address the alleged gambling operation that was supposedly on the 2nd floor. So they do know about it and they were doing inspections with them to try and address that and close the building down. As far as boarding up those things, we can pass it on to them and hopefully they can get the owner to take action a little more quickly.
But it is, it's burned down. It's not safe. It's not like
Yeah.
somebody should be going upstairs.
Yes, but I mean, it's private property, so we cannot close it up.
Or it's not your field.
Not a private
What
building.
department is it?
Excuse me, Dale, you got to go to the mic.
Okay. Now, what department handles it? I can contact them myself if necessary.
Department of Planning and Permitting, see if they can get the owner to secure the building if it's a hazard.
Okay, Department of, okay, thank you.
Anyone else for questions for HPD on any issues concerning, you can ask. Yeah, go ahead. On police, on your problem?
Hello, everyone. My name is Dean Sakamoto. I'm a building owner and also an architect based in Chinatown. I'm at 99 North King, former American Savings Bank, Liberty Bank building. I also represent Shade Institute. Shade stands for Sustainable Humanitarian Architecture and Design for the Earth. We're a nonprofit. I'm the executive director. We've been in Chinatown for the last 10 years. Our main initiative in Chinatown is to help Chinatown get ready for the rail, the TOD, doing the community-based planning, working with the DPP and other city departments. And I'm really grateful to HPD. Great to see you guys here tonight. Thank you for all the help in the neighborhood, in Chinatown in particular, and the neighborhood board, downtown and Chinatown. So what I'm bringing up tonight is a concern that I brought to the mayor's office, and they're listening. It's mainly because of the vicinity of where my office is, where our building is at the corner of Mauna Kea and King. It used to be a bank. It's now our office. But if you've been there lately, you've noticed that the Pig and the Lady left about a year ago. It's really quiet. The bar across the street closed. We have a lot of vacancies. And so the people who are living on the streets, and they sleep in front of our building every night because, it used to be an ATM. And we let people sleep there. We can't stop them as long as they pick up after themselves, but they have nowhere to use their restroom. So the place smells like a toilet and it's unsanitary, it's unhealthy. And I've requested to Krishna, the MD, that we need to do something. We need to come up with a strategy, public toilets or something. I think it's 2 things. Either get the people completely off the streets, right, which is impossible, or give them a place to relieve themselves because it's unsanitary, unsafe. And what I'd like to accomplish tonight is to get support from all of you to pass some kind of a resolution to get action to clean up our streets because it's really bad, especially like, we're trying to do business there and it smells like a toilet. Nobody wants to come, right? And when people do come, I have to apologize profusely about the smell and about watch your step. And there are people laying in front of our doors, so we have to do something.
So Dean, your complaint is about the homeless squattering on your property and then making way.
Well, we're dealing with that, but the bigger problem is the unsanitary conditions of people using the streets and sidewalks and buildings as a public restroom. Some guy, he took a piss on our door the other day in broad daylight, okay? So that's how bad it is. So we have a public health problem and a social problem in Chinatown in particular.
All right, thank you. Anybody else from the audience? Okay, anybody online? Hello, anybody online? Have a question for HPD? Kevin McDonald, go ahead. Go ahead.
Chair, can you hear me? Great. So I just would like to second what the previous speaker was mentioning. I've been coming to these downtown Chinatown neighborhood board meetings for 10 years. And this has always, or at least long, been one of the main complaints about the residents and business owners in our neighborhood. And it doesn't seem to be getting any better. And I would hope that I'm a big fan of HPD. First, let me say, I think you guys have a difficult job, and but I hope that we will step up our citations and other ways of getting these kind of nefarious characters off of our streets. I know it's important, and I would also like to encourage the previous speaker to stick around, because our legislators and lawmakers, state representatives and city council members will also be appearing in this meeting later, or their representatives will be appearing later, and they really do hold the keys to correcting these problems. HPD has a tough job of trying to arrest these people, and they're practically back out on the street before the HPD is done filling out the paperwork for that case. So please stick around and make sure that your local elected representative also is aware of your concerns, and make sure that you ask them what they are doing to correct the problem. Thank you.
Thank you. Follow up? Okay.
Thank you, sir, for your support and your understanding. I just want to say one more thing. I forgot to acknowledge and thank the leadership and staff of the Department of Facilities Maintenance for the city, because I thank them every day. They're out there every day cleaning up a street that's like a toilet. It's worse than a restroom, right? People are doing it right on the street. And so I want to thank them along with HPD, because when I call, you come. Right. So, but the problem is bigger than just what HPD and what DFM can do. It's a social, it's a sanitation problem, and it's a public health problem. And Shade Institute is there to be part of the solution. We can help to design a better environment. And we were there, but no one's asking us. The mayor knows we're there. I just saw him today. But I think we need, as a body here, as a neighborhood board, we need to take some actions and take control of our streets, as we say, and also improve the environment, both the business environment and the safety, the public safety and sanitation of our environment. So thank you for all that you do. It's great to see everybody here tonight. Again, my name is Dean Sakamoto. Thank you.
At this point, we'll open questions to our board members.
I just had one minor comment. Dale Krupa already brought it up. Just confirming what Dale mentioned before, that probably it was, I think, 1 or 2 days after the fire. They're still all there on the first floor.
Okay.
Question, Kevin? Yeah.
Thank you, Chair. Captain, just want to take a quick minute to thank the community policing team and Officer Pratt for helping organize the very successful National Night Out meeting for all of the district citizen and community patrols. It was a great time. I think there were more than 100 folks there. We did some sign waving on Ala Moana Boulevard, and importantly had a chance to meet with HPD Chief Lazar. And he took the time to shake hands with nearly everybody who was in McCoy Pavilion. I think that was very standout that he took the time to do that.
Yes, thank you very much. They'd be very happy to hear that. I'll pass that along.
Secondly, then, if we could just try to get some commitment from HPD and our district's team about addressing the ongoing and increasingly loud sounds coming from the 1171 Nu'uanu Avenue surface parking lot that is next to the Mark's Garage. Without fail, from 1:30 a.m. to 2:30 a.m. Screeching tires. Recently, they've been playing loud concerts from amplified speakers in the back of pickup trucks. Very disruptive, but again, very predictable. So any blue light presence along Bethel Avenue as people are walking to that parking lot, I think would have a tremendous help. And we'd like to find some commitment from HPD to make that happen. Thank you.
Yes, definitely. We'll definitely pass it along. And some of our night watch personnel are here, so they'll pass it along to those units as well and make sure that we have increased checks to that area. Thank you.
At this time, the chair like to recognize Nicole Chintani, who just arrived about a few minutes ago. So welcome. Any questions from other board members? No. I like. Oh, Bob, I missed you. Okay, go ahead.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I just wanted to tell the testifiers that if they look on the agenda today, we'll address or try to address at least as much as the neighborhood board can, the Hotel Street issue and the safety that revolves around that on item 6-2. Hopefully we can get approval of that and get the city to understand that they need to move post haste after years of delay on that issue. And then finally about the bathrooms, Ala Park was just eliminated as a restroom stop. The Honolulu Police Department substation is supposed to be a public restroom. I don't know what the status of that restroom is, but it's probably, always under repair. Several businesses do not permit their bathrooms to be used anymore, like McDonald's. And, when you talk to city leaders about that issue, they say, at least Anton Krucky said to me in a neighborhood board meeting, the public doesn't deserve restrooms. We're a major metropolitan area with tourism in our neighborhood.
Bob,
We've got to do
may
something.
I ask you to wrap up because your time is up? Okay, thank you. Thank you. And who else is hands up? Ross, go ahead.
Thanks, Chair. I have a question for HPD, and this is in relation to, I think, Mr. Sakamoto's testimony and frustrations. So my question for HPD, because I'm not sure of it, I think, part of it is you do what you can, but I know the sit-lie ban. There are certain times where you're allowed to enforce it, and there are certain times I think you're not allowed to enforce it in downtown Chinatown. And my understanding is in Waikiki, it's 24/7, but correct me if I'm wrong, that's not the case in downtown, I believe. Maybe you could clarify that. Thank you.
Yes, so there's no, even in Waikiki, there's no 24-hour sit-lie ban. There are hours between 2300 or 11 p.m. to 5 a.m. Is outside of the sit-lie ban hours. So it's, I'm assuming it's a chance, it gives people a chance to actually rest.
Yeah.
Instead of having a 24-hour, that they cannot sit down or lie anywhere.
Yeah. Captain, we know that it's a big issue in Chinatown with the sit-lie. After 11, we cannot do any enforcement until 5 a.m. So the city does allow these people to camp and live on your sidewalks, unless you go to our city council and request coverage of 24/7 sit-lie. And now that we have more shelters and more beds and more treatment centers, that might be a good time to get city council to extend the sit-lie from 5 a.m. to 11 p.m. to 24/7. It will make police work a lot easier than this half measure that is affecting all of us. And in terms of the sanitation, the bathroom is being worked on, the public bathroom at Pauagi Street under Director Kratky's office. So it's supposed to be completed probably in October. So that might provide some relief. But at the same time, all our storefronts, everybody cleans up in the morning because we have all the residues from the people living there the night before, cardboards, trash, all kind of stuff is always left and it's not sanitary and it is a fact of life right now. So unfortunate, but that is what it is for now. So like in the area that Chinatown security team monitors, we do it for free. And we cannot clean up a lot of caca every day. we do about 30 to 40 monitoring online as well as on foot. And then whenever there's a number 2 over there, we send our clean team to clean it up for free. And we send, do a lot of this work for free. So that's why we are pushing towards a Chinatown Improvement District where it can get approved and that they can get funding to hire people to do that. So that owners of property can at least address its property with an entity that has a security team and also a clean team to address the sanitation problem. So I hope that it is coming along with our city council office. So that's the best I know of for now, that information I can share with you. Yeah.
Okay, and thank you. One last thing also, we are going around and trying to educate the public as well on our new program that you may have seen in the news recently, using drones as first responders. And to speak a little bit more on that or provide you all with some information is our Assistant Chief, Brian Lynch.
Good evening, everyone. Aloha. Thank you for allowing me to speak tonight. I'm here to share with you a pilot project that we're rolling out in District 1, which is your district. Sir. Sorry, familiar face. And we have District 5, which is Kalihi neighboring over there. We're going to be doing the program over there as well. So what it is, in a nutshell, we call it DFR, which is drones as a first responder. And what that means is we have these drones at the station and we're going to put them throughout the community, like at fire stations, and we fly them from the police station. What's important to know is that they only fly and respond to 911 complaints. So what kind of complaints would those be? That would be something in an in-progress call, somebody's getting assaulted, there's a weapons case. Those types of things are priority 1 calls for us. When we would launch a drone and the drone would fly and get there sooner than a ground unit would, because the ground unit has to go through traffic and all that stuff, where the drone just flies straight to the location. So why do we want to do this? Well, it allows us to get there faster, to identify who the bad guys are. And what we can do is over the radio, we talk to the officers that are going in their cars and we tell them, it's the guy in the red shirt over there on the corner. When the officers get there, the drone can direct the officers to the troublemaker or suspect person who is assaulting somebody, or if it was a domestic, or, you know, those type of things. Another example would be what we would call a beer run. A beer run at 7-Eleven is when they go in and they grab some beer and they leave the store without paying. They jump in a car or they go down the sidewalk. We would respond with the drone. The drone could see the person. They don't know the drone sees them because it's kind of high in the sky. So it follows the person down the sidewalk until our officers can get there. And of course, we're telling the officers over the radio that this is what's going on, and then we can apprehend the bad guys. So it allows us to have a better situational awareness of where we're going. 1, 2, it also, it's a super, it lowers our use of force in the sense that when officers know what they're going to, what they're getting into, then they know, okay, they know what it is they're going to. And so they're not getting out of their car all jacked up, ready to have to go hands-on with somebody. So it's a big use of force tool to reduce those incidences. And so this program is in all 50 states of the United States. Maui is actually doing theirs. So we're kind of behind the times. And so we want to get on it and roll it out. It should lead to less crime, safer community, and we're here to share that with you so you're not surprised that we're doing it. We have a landing page on our website, which is honolulupd.org. If you go onto our website, you can review and read what our policy is regarding this program. So if you're not comfortable with it, or if you have questions, you can read the policy and be better informed. At the bottom of that page, there's a little link where you can click and email us if you have a question or concern. It comes directly to us and we'll answer your concerns or questions, because, you know, we want you folks to like the program. We don't want to roll something out that you don't like or you feel that's not worth it. I think when you see the results after we do it, I believe you're going to like it. But we want to include you in the journey as we roll this out. And so I'm just here to share that with you and answer any questions that you might have.
Okay, audience questions? Go ahead.
Hi, this is Shoshana again. So my question would be, because this is an ongoing issue I have even without the drones. So how would the drone assist in trespassing? does the person still have to be on property, or are you guys going to be able to trespass them from the footage given from the drone and all that?
It could help in trespassing. It would depend because the drone is flying at 100, 200 feet to actually identify a face and say that's Joe Schmo and Joe Schmo got away, say he gets away. And then we make a case, a trespassing case against Joe Schmo. It's possible, but we wouldn't typically use the drones for that only because we want really the priority one cases where somebody might be getting hurt, beat up, somebody's in danger. You know, we've used it, well, mainland departments have used this program to find lost relatives. Say you have a kapuna that lives with you and they wander off, you call us, we launch the drone, it goes out, we look in the area for the or a lost child. And we reserve it more for those type of calls. Doesn't mean that we couldn't go to something like a trespass, but you know, it depends on the call volume for the day. We'd prefer to go save somebody's life or save somebody from getting beaten up or something like that. Does that make sense? Oh, there you go.
Let somebody go first and then come back to you. Yeah. Anybody else on the audience?
I'm Jamie Barboza, and I do have a question about the drone. In the future, will it be able to have the talk-down feature, like similar to what like Lifeline cameras have?
Talk to people?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. That's a good question. There is a microphone and a speaker on the drone. And so if, let's say, there's a tsunami coming to Oahu and there's people on Waikiki Beach, the drone can fly down the beach and say, hey, you know, there's a tsunami coming, get off the beach, stuff like that. So the capabilities are there, but we typically wouldn't want to fly that low because then you know, we're kind of low where people are and we don't want to hurt people while we do it, right? But it does have that capability. And you'll know it's our drone because it has blue lights like a police car. So if you see a drone around and there's blue lights flashing, that's probably one of ours.
So Shauna again. So my next question would be, because this is another issue that I face when providing evidence to you guys. And then I also was told that the city cameras that was installed that cost a lot of taxpayers' money are not upholdable in court. So is any of this footage or audio going to be upholdable in court, especially when it comes to vagrants, you know, substance abuse on the streets, because that's been an issue, or defecating, urinating on the streets, all that kind of stuff.
The video can be used in court and we've had used video evidence in court and it's admissible. So like a bank robbery or what would typical be, or a bank robbery, they take pictures, the guy flees, they identify the person through the photo and then they make the case and then we go look for the bad guy and we arrest them. Trespass, what was your question? Oh, like using drugs. Again, a person using drugs is serious. It's not something we want in our community, but again, it's not something that we would typically use a drone to go and investigate because again, we're reserving it for more priority one calls, which is again, somebody getting hurt, beat up, a robbery in progress, a theft in progress, that kind of thing. Somebody breaking into a car in progress, that kind of thing. The footage that we get from that is admissible in court.
We have people down here, so I have people on the audience. Who's one's up first? Huh? Roberta, go ahead. Hello, Roberta, your mic is off. Roberta, hello? Your mic is off. I'll go to Ross Isokani first.
Thank you, Chair. Hello, I have a question. I guess we definitely want to support any tools that HPD needs to help keep us safer. But I guess I feel like I'm hearing news of this for the first time. As a civic duty, I feel like we actually have to ask and see what oversight there is over this program. Who from our elected officials approved this? I feel like for downtown Chinatown, for example, we have cameras, but we consented to that. I think City Council kind of approved that it was a important interest. So maybe just as a civic kind of rights to privacy question, who has oversight over this?
We have oversight over the program, and if you're uncomfortable about it, I suggest go to our website and you can read our policy, which addresses all of the concerns constitutionally like that. So we have guardrails in place, so we don't violate privacy issues. We don't violate constitutional law. Again, it's important to understand what it is and what it's not. It's not drones going out and looking for things and people doing bad things. It's not that at all. It's drones responding to 911 complaints. So in other words, it's a complaint that's coming from the public, and so we're responding to that complaint. It's not us looking for things, bad guys under trees and stuff like that. It's nothing like that.
Mahalo.
Thank you. I'm going to Roberta again. Roberta?
Yeah, thank you so much. I also wanted to ask about these guardrails that are in place, because I know that the federal government has moved to using some of these types of footage in other states across the nation, and what kind of guardrails are in place for that, as well as how these drones function in terms of their surveillance prior to arriving at their destination.
So that is a common question when it comes to this. So for us, when the drone launches, it goes from point A to point B. As it's traveling from point A to point B, the camera isn't recording. We're flying to get to point B. When we get to point B, if there's something there that we feel we want to record, then we turn on the recording. If we get there, say somebody reports 10 guys fighting in the street, we get there and there's nobody fighting in the street. There's nothing worth filming that's going to be worthwhile to anyone. We just turn the drone around and we fly right back to the station and we land.
Okay. Now, I saw the hand up for Dan, our Vice Chair.
Thanks, Chair. Following up on the questions regarding the cameras, I really like the idea. I think it'll help with safety and response times for sure. If we have the officers that are handling the drone response and whatnot, does that mean that when they're not actively responding to a case, that the cameras that we do have in place that are on the streets of Chinatown can be utilized for something like this? In the past, we've been told that there is no active monitoring of those cameras. So that's my question.
There's a portion of this project which is called the Real-Time Information Center, which is our ability to use public cameras in public areas, static cameras that we can activate and look. So if there's 10 guys fighting in the intersection of, I don't know, King and Mauna Kea, and there's a camera there and we know it's there, we can activate the camera from the station and look, there's 10 guys fighting. And then we take that information and we jump on the radio and we tell the officers that are already going there, yeah, there's 10 guys fighting. So typically, let's say we get a 10 guys fighting call, 2 officers might go just to see what really is going on. And if they get there, they tell everybody else, cancel, no need to come over here, stay in your areas and do what you got to do. Or they get there and they say, yeah, there's 10 guys fighting, send more guys, and more guys come. The static camera is faster than the drone because all you got to do is activate it. Now, I do know there's issues with some of the cameras in Chinatown that through poor maintenance possibly that they don't work or they're not working. And so the ones that do work are the ones that we have access to, but we don't monitor them. We only activate them when, again, we're responding to a 911 call. Does that make sense?
For that point of clarification, appreciate it.
Yeah. And to be clear, this doesn't mean that officers in cars aren't going to go. They're still going to go, but we just get there faster. And if we get there with a drone or a static camera and there's not 10 guys fighting, we tell the 10 officers coming down, there's nobody here, stay, go do something better than come down here and find nothing, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Going to the next board member, Kevin, you have a question?
Chair, thank you. I saw the drone demo at the National Night Out event and flying around, but I'm curious, what type of commitments do you have for budget, funding, equipment upgrades? Because I think we all recall that during COVID time, HPD spent $150,000 on the Boston Dynamics Spot robot dog, and we don't know where it is now.
I believe that we still have the dog. I had nothing to do with the dog, but typically these type of programs are purchased in packages. It's like a lease. And so that allows us to use and abuse the equipment. We wouldn't abuse it, but through wear and tear, it gets old. So part of the lease is that they take the old one out and they give us a new one. Depending on the size of the program, it could cost anywhere from $600,000 to even $1 million a year. depending on how many drones we have. So that's a typical rollout for us. Right now, we're going to start with 6 to 8 pods, which are going to be through Kalihi all the way down this way towards District 7, which is Kaimikisai, right? And they're going to have coverage in all those areas. And so we're going to have analytics involved. So when it's a pilot, so we want to make sure that the juice is worth the squeeze per se. And so we'll evaluate the analytics as far as response times, what we would call a win. If we start showing you that we can get there faster and we can arrest the guy that's breaking into the car, for you, I don't know what kind of value you might place on that, but if it's your car and it's getting broken into and your car's been broken into like 10 times, you're going to be like, all right, finally we got a guy, right? And if I show you 5 more videos of us catching bad guys, then, you know, us as a community, do we value that crime stopping ability? And then what happens is the bad guys know that we got this technology going on and they go somewhere else and they do stuff. So fortunately for you folks that live in town, we're starting in town. Whereas we're not doing it out in the country. We're in like Kaneohe side or, you know, Pearl City side. We're not quite doing it out there yet.
Anybody else on the board? Okay, I have one question from Kevin McDonald. 1 minute, Kevin.
Thank you, Chair. I just have a quick question. Who's piloting the drones? Is it a police officer or is it somebody who is contracted from this company that you that's operating the lease for you, or is it somebody that's hired from that works for the city? What qualifications do they have? Who's the person behind the controls?
Good question. The pilots are officers because there's constitutional items involved and we're sworn to uphold the Constitution and follow the laws and all that stuff. We want officers operating the drones. They're all FAA qualified to fly the drones. We have all of our certifications with the FAA to operate the drones in what they call beyond visual sight, which is a certification you need from the FAA to do this, to fly them from a remote location and have the drone somewhere else. We have all those certifications. So we've met all the federal requirements to do the program, and they're going to be sworn officers that do it.
Okay, I guess any more questions from the board? I just want to welcome back our beloved Major Commander District 1, Henry Roberts.
Where was he all this time? I was wondering the same thing.
We missed him for a couple of months. So welcome back from the FBI Academy. So I think District 1 is very lucky. We have even more for our District 1 commander. And I do want to thank you for the extra help with the ATVs and the assembly over at Ala Park recently, and also on the MH3 project, which is helping. And recently we have a new group of people descending in Chinatown, and they are pretty aggressive, pretty nasty, and very unpleasant, very disruptive. So I hope you will send some people down to help with this. And they are on Mauna Kea, North King, North Hotel, and Pawahi Street. A lot of issues. That's why, Dean, you're having issues too, because we have a very new crop and bigger crop of homeless people who are very sassy, very disruptive. So just to let you know. Yeah. Thank you so much, everyone. Yeah.
Thank you for your time. Aloha.
Next is we do have public concerns. 2 minutes. Anybody from the audience with public concerns?
So I just wanted to share that I took it upon myself to go to the Bureau of Conveyance and find out who owns the old Island Insurance building now. Because we've been having a bigger problem that's been crossing over into Chinatown Gateway Plaza where I live. So they used to be under Hawaiian Properties, under the name of National Mortgage and Finance Company. I had to do some Google, Jessica Jones PI research. And yeah, I found out that they're Hawaiian properties. So Hawaiian Properties actually sold the deed to CBRE back in November. So they're in charge of the building now. And I reached out to a Katrina Medina, who is part of their management with CRBRE, and I voiced my concern to her basically, you know, about the vagrant issue, about the drug use, about the trash, and the defecating on their property. So she said she's gonna reach up to her higher management and they're willing to work with us. Yeah. So if you guys need that email information, I have it.
I would send it to our NCO so that she can share it with me.
Okay.
So we wanted, that's a matter of information. All resolution, email, attachment, we have one gate, which is controlled by our assistant, so that we have one person that's in charge of this depositing the information in our Google Drive, so that we don't have too many cooks messing it up, that I send, you didn't send, you know. So Kamala is in charge of that. So anybody send me an email wanting to be on the agenda or wanting to propose something, please CC her as well.
Okay.
So that we have at one, both of us are in the know, and then we can then act. Yeah, because we found out that when I forward email to her, sometimes the attachment doesn't appear. And then she's lost that communication. I don't know why the forwarding loses attachment. So we have an issue with that. So that's why I said, send same time to two of us. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay, Madam Chair and Board, I'd just like to follow up on what the next step is, the action for, you know, my earlier testimony to follow. What are we going to do? Are we going to do a resolution as a board? Our council member Dos Santos Tam is aware of this also. He was copied on my email to the MD. But I'd like to know what our follow-up is and what I can do to help.
Yeah, I think, Dean, if you want to propose a resolution, that would be one way so the board can adopt that after discussion.
Okay.
So when you send an email of complaint to the police, the mayor, to council member, so council member can also do a resolution. So if you prepare a resolution and submit it so that this board can discuss it. As far as public concerns, we can't vote on it. We can't do anything other than if you
But
submit
I can
it.
propose a resolution to the neighborhood board.
Yeah.
Okay, that's,
Yeah,
I'll do that.
that
Thank
will
you.
be the best way. Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much.
Okay. Anybody else? Okay, Dale.
This is Doug Pyle. Hi. And Chair, I just want to say, I know that last time you mentioned that when I have something to present, I can let you know and for something formal on the agenda. At this time, I just want to raise awareness of something that is coming forward, and hopefully I do have something from one of the organizations I work with. I just want to, in part, thank Nicole Shintani, board member, who she and I had attended the last few trainings, or actually there were discussions with guests from out of different states, hosted by the OMPO, the Oahu Metropolitan Planning Organization, discussing safer streets and designs. It's the same stuff that the board has been talking about for a long time, you know, like how to integrate need for housing that's affordable, safer streets for pedestrians, you know, safer in all of the ways, just getting across the street without getting smashed by a car, being able to use a bike, be able to transition to bus, rails coming through. All of that is the kind of thing that was presented by that organization. Very useful. And in any case, I want to be able to address that in future meetings.
Doc, it might be okay for you to package it and
Sure.
then send it to the board
Will do.
for the agenda so that the board can discuss and then vote on what action they want to take.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
it's just something just to be aware of, because
Yeah.
with the development coming
Yeah.
in with rail,
Yeah.
an opportunity for
We
all kinds of
appreciate that. Yes.
work on this.
Thank you. Yeah. Anybody else with public concerns? It's your chance. 2 minutes. Hearing none, we will move on to our report from the chair of the Neighborhood Board Commission, Mr. Patrick Smith.
Hi, good evening, Board Chair. Yes, I'm Patrick Smith. I chair the Neighborhood Commission, which oversees the boards across the island. And I just have some administrative issues that I want to share with the board, so I'll try to be quick. I will tell you that we've had some concerns from the public regarding what's called the top panel issues, or the way it was set out in the past. It seems fine now, but because of what has occurred, the commission has deemed for this board that those speaking rules, the rules of the agenda, do belong to the board, not the chair. So the chair has to go to the board to make any changes in the future. And also, we would caution the board about putting in things that say the chair gets to overrule and do all this. And you can't give powers to the chair that the chair doesn't have under the plan. And if you have any questions, please reach out. You can reach out to me, but Lloyd Yanaka, who is our executive secretary, you can call him anytime during the business hours and let him know.
Point of clarification,
Yes.
Chair, is that the agenda is prepared by the chair from submission. And the chair does the order of the submission. So the chair is not the one that is not doing its job of arranging the agenda. And then the template for the agenda is set by a neighborhood board assistant. So that's the way it is.
Well, I'm referring to the rules of speaking and getting submissions to the agenda. That's what I'm referring to. The items on the agenda, yes, they're for the chair. The chair can put them, and we do have, obviously to prioritize our first responders. When we have elections, they will go first. Other than that, it is up to the chair, and I'm not debating that. It's the issues. It's very unclear in the plan because it's never really come up before about who gets control over the rules of speaking. It's just sort of naturally been assumed that the boards get it. So that's what I'm referring to.
Another
Is that clear?
clarification is that the chair is the one that manages the meeting.
Yes.
So the chair has discretion to extend, if somebody has a lot of things to say that's important, that we can learn from, the chair has the authority to extend the 1 minute or 2 minutes or 3 minutes. So that is a given, it's in the neighborhood plan. So it's not like the chair is acting arbitrarily above the boards on an issue that needed to be voted on. So I just want to be clear.
Yeah, and I'm glad you brought that up because nothing what I'm saying would change the ability of the chair or the authority of the chair to give individuals more time. That's within your discretion as a chair. Just what I'm talking about is on the printed agenda, and it's your responsibility as a chair to be fair and everything like that. And that would be part of that extending
I
time.
think that was like previous chairs, they put in some things, but then I was also thinking that the agenda, the Neighborhood Board Commission has oversight over the agenda before it goes out to be printed and also to be mailed out. So the Neighborhood Board Commission has an oversight on this. So when they allow that to go on before, so this board doesn't do that. So I think our board doesn't have an ego issue. We are very much sharing and nobody's usurping any power or silencing anyone who wishes to speak. So I just want to be clear about that.
And it looks fine now, and I don't have a problem, but in the recent past, there were complaints from the public, and there is a complaint, and I can't address that at the moment, but I will say as a general matter, there were complaints from the public about what were written as the rules. And I will say the commission doesn't screen all that, it just sort of, there's inertia there. It just kind of goes. So when there was a problem, we looked at it and we thought it needed addressing. I will say, I'll say the board's doing a great job, and this is not meant as a
So,
big criticism, but just
As
so
for
you know.
this new administration for July 1 to June 30th, this board is quite different.
Yes.
And I think this board has more aloha and cooperation. And I think also we respect the template as administered by the Neighborhood Board Commission and the Neighborhood Plan. And also we respect the work of the neighborhood assistant. We're not overriding her input of what is proper. So I think we change the, based on suggestion, we change and bring back the public concerns on the front. So, so I think it's a very good beginning for this board. And I'm really enjoying the aloha and cooperation from our new board this term. So thank you so much.
And well, let me just summarize really quickly to say, this was brought up by the public, so that's why we felt a need to address it, especially publicly. But yes, I think the board's doing a great job. You're doing a great job as chair. So I wish you success, and that's all we want. So thank you very much.
Your input. Question, Kevin?
Chair, thank you. I appreciate the comments from Commission Chair Smith. Just wanted to clarify if you concur that with the idea that, yes, the chair can offer to extend time, for example, for a speaker, but it remains the duty and power of the body itself to approve that recommended change. Of course, it's likely that it would be made without objection because we are all involved in the conversation and know that if there's momentum and someone is going to finish a sentence, they need 30 more seconds or whatnot, I think it's understood. But if the case arose that there was anyone that did object, that's something that would need to be deliberated as per neighborhood plan, as per Robert's rules. I just want to make sure that's clear.
If I understand what you're asking, and I'm not really sure I do, it is within the purview of the chair to provide more time. It's just, it has to be done fairly. I would say if the board objected, like say you objected and you said you wanted to make a motion to tell the chair to, adhere to the time, that would be something the board could do because it's the board's prerogative. But the way the system is set up, it does allow the chair to use the chair's discretion. And so, like I said, if the board feels that the chair is abusing that discretion, then the board can affirmatively change that. But it would take the majority of the board. Okay. Thank you.
Anyone from from our board on the board matters on this? Yeah, Ross?
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Chair Smith. Purely hypothetical question because, as Chair Schubert Kwok has mentioned, not applicable to this board, but are you aware of any rules under, let's say, Robert's rules that a board can adopt by vote, special rules of order, so long as they don't supersede the neighborhood plan for the bylaws?
Well, you have to remember there's the plan and then there's the commission. The commission sets policies for the board. So the commission can overrule Robert's rules. So even if the board does agree to do something, the commission can say, that's not really how we envision a properly run board functioning. And
just to follow up, I'd love to dive into it. I mean, just because you're here educating us and I like to be educated, I'd love to hear more in your interpretation of that. Thank you.
Thank you, Ross.
Okay, this is for board only. So any board members online? Question? Robert? No? Laura? No? Anybody else? This is your chance to ask the neighborhood board chair. No, not. So thank you so much.
And I would say that the public has a right to testify on any items. I don't know why they would, but anyway, thank you. Thank you, board. You're doing a great job. I will say this is a fantastic board and it's looks very good under the new chair. So thank you.
Thank you. Wow. All right, guys, going on for 10 minutes presentation. We do have a few, 5.1, 5.2, 5.3, 5.4 is being deferred because the request was for September. So disregard 5.4, okay? And okay, so we do have 3 presentations. So I invite Hawaii Pacific University, HBU, on the shock race 5K.
Good evening, Madam Chair, Board, and fellow citizens. My name is Kevin Schwartz. I'm representing Hawaii Pacific University. I work as the head cross-country coach. With me in the audience is one of my best runners and brightest students. That's Isabella Morgan. Here to introduce to you and seek blessing and feedback for an event that we are planning for Sunday, September 6th we are planning the Shark Race 5K. It's a 5K run walk that starts and ends at Aloha Tower, heads out on Aloha Tower Drive to dump onto Ala Boulevard and take a right on Keawe, where we'll do a lap around Kaka'aka Waterfront Park before returning in the same direction, same path back to Aloha Tower and finishing right in front of the tower. This is a fundraiser for our school, and hey, we want to be good neighbors, good stewards of the community, and of course, invite you all out. Yes.
Okay, questions from the audience about this 5K race fundraiser for HBU, our good neighbor. No questions. Any questions from the gallery? I mean, sorry, from the online. Anyone? Is okay? No questions? Any questions from the board? Go ahead.
Those are the kinds of events and things that we love to see in Chinatown, especially put on by, an organization like HBU. I, for one, am a Chinatown runner, and so I will be attending your event and enjoying it with the, all the organization. But don't have any questions regarding that, but are you guys planning to close streets up or?
Yes, indeed. We've been working closely with the Department of Transportation, the HPD Special Duty, Aloha Roadway Services will be putting out all of our road markings and road closure signs. Yes, Ala Boulevard will be closed on the Makai side from Alakea to Keawe.
Alakea.
Notices have been given to all local businesses in that area, and we'll be following up this week. Once we get the final blessing from the Department of Transportation with our intent to permit, that's when we'll go live with blasting the marketing for this event. Leadership wants us to kind of hold back until we get the full thumbs up so that we're not going, planning something and advertising something that won't intend to happen.
From what I remember, I don't think anybody's thrown, I don't think you guys have done an event like this before, like a 5K around your property and, the campus and Chinatown and the parks.
No, this will be the first annual, and we think it's, well, what a great place to have it. It worked out. I seem pretty smart that the course I laid out, it's exactly 5K. So you'll get your money's worth.
So we go for a second question from Kevin.
Chair, thank you. I want to echo Member Nguyen's question specifically about the route of the race. Could you confirm that? And then I have a statement after that.
Yes, the route will start right where the old Falls of Clyde boat used to be on Aloha Tower Drive. We'll head east on Aloha Tower Drive, dump onto Ala Boulevard. We'll take a right on Keawe, where we'll go around the Jabsum and do a loop around Kaka'aka Waterfront Park. We'll pick back up in the same place that we went out, back down Keawe, back on Ala Boulevard, onto Aloha Tower Drive for the finish line.
Thank you, Mr. Schwartz. I think that the concern that's raised is the notice that's in the agenda and its degree of detail in informing the public of that route. And if the board foresees that there are any residences or businesses along that route that might be impacted, then the concern could be stated that notice was not suitable for the public to come and decide to come and comment to your presentation as well. As much as I hate to say it, I think that the notice is insufficient, so I'm hesitant to vote on this because it could be problematic in the future. Glad you're here. I wish we had made sure that it met all of our requirements for sunshine law to make sure it was adequately noticed. Thank you.
I'd like to make a comment, Kevin, so because in the future, when you send in for something like this, it's good to add the route, and whether also businesses affected were informed or at least given a flyer that this is what you're doing, and then before coming, posting the agenda.
Every business along the route was given notice.
Oh, that's
I have a
good.
copy of the notice that
Okay.
was
So,
given.
yeah, so that's good because DTS would not approve you unless you have these things in place as well.
Right. I've been working closely with DTS to make
Yeah.
sure all their requirements have
Yeah.
been met.
So anything else? Anybody here? No? So I would entertain a motion to support. Is there a
Madam
motion to support?
Madam Chair.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Oh, sorry, Robert, I missed you.
That's okay. Do I understand that the permits have not been approved yet for this? Because, Ala Moana Boulevard is a huge route for people going to the north side of the island. So I'm just curious, have they been approved or not?
No, let me clarify which side of Ala Moana Boulevard will be closed. It's just the Makai side, just the ocean side of Ala Moana Boulevard between Alakea and Kiave. The time of closure would be 7 a.m. to approximately 8:45 p.m. I'm sorry, 8:45 a.m. So looking at an hour and 45 minutes. Honestly, we anticipate that time being a lot shorter because towards the end, tail end of the runners will be, well, the walkers. And on that route, we can push them onto the sidewalk. And that's been discussed with HPD and the Department of Transportation. And that is the plan, our plan of action when that time comes.
What do you anticipate the number of runners?
We would love to have 400 runners. That would, if we had that for our inaugural event, we'd call it a success.
The chair is calling for support. We're not doing approval. So it's just a board support. So if those who wanted to make a motion and second the motion to support, go ahead.
I motion to support.
Same. Okay, there's a second, there's support. So any discussion? If not, okay, discussion, Kevin?
Chair, I think I just again have to point out that the agenda entry is technically legally deficient, and I would just encourage you to maybe verbally express support, but please don't vote on it. Thank you.
I agree.
Who said that?
I did.
Oh,
I
see.
did. Yeah.
Because it's on the agenda and there's a motion and a second, and we heard your view, so I'm still gonna put it to a vote. So the chair would like to put it to a vote. Those who, can you call the votes?
So the motion is to support the HPU Shark Race 5K. Armstrong,
I'm supportive, but I have to abstain.
Ho,
Yes.
Isokane,
Yes.
Lai,
Abstain.
Mestis,
Yes.
Nguyen,
Yes.
Shintani,
Yes.
Sturgis,
Laura? Where's Laura? Oh, she's
Laura.
gone.
Laura Sturgis, are you there?
Laura, are you there? Oh, Laura's not there.
All right, I'll just skip her. Laura, if you're there, can you turn your mic on?
Laura? Not there.
I'll skip Laura and Chair.
Check vote aye.
6 ayes,
yeah.
0 noes, 2 abstentions. The motion passes.
Yeah, we wish HBU all the best for your inaugural. And that now that you heard the import, next year, pattern it with the agenda.
Yeah, thank you. Look forward to being a better planner next time.
You've always been a good neighbor here, so we appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now we're going to 5.2, Hawaii Children and Youth Day. This is a very good program. And then I have here Alan Silver.
Hello, Neighborhood Board. Thanks for being here. And also the concerned citizens. It's very impressive. I mean, I talk about a lot with the kids here in the state of Hawaii. I worked with DOE for 35 years. I retired from teaching at DOE in counseling. but I'm not done with kids. I work with Holly Keeper part-time. I work with homeless kids and abused kids. And I do a lot of workshops on alone in the community. But I'm here today representing Children and Youth Day. Former Senator John Oakland came up with this idea many years ago. And we're actually celebrating our 33rd annual Children and Youth Day. And we requested again to temporarily close Punch Bowl Street between King and Beretania Streets, Sunday, October 4th, between 7 a.m. and 4 p.m. The event will go from 10 o'clock in the morning to 3 p.m. So we get in early to set up, and we're out by 3 o'clock. We're done. Thousands and thousands of youth and adults attend the program. Lots of entertainment, a lot of games for the kids. And it's just, what are we doing? We're just celebrating children and youth. Okay? So we're here again just to see if it's okay. We can temporarily close the road for that morning from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m.
The chair's opening this to questions. Any questions from the audience? Any questions from online? On the Children's and Youth Day. It's going to be on civic grounds. So anyone from here? No?
We will have it at the state capitol, Frank Fossey Civic Center.
Oh, okay.
And also the Kalani Moku grounds. That's where the event is going to take place.
Now, I happen to know this program for a long, long time. And it's a really great event to bring keikis in from all over Oahu. And then also a lot of reading, a lot of books, and creative writing workshops. And I think it's a great one for the youth and to celebrate literacy as well as creative activities. And I commend you for doing that for so long. And Senator Chan Oakland was actually the one who started this, like, how many years ago? 30?
33 years ago.
33
Senator
years
John
ago.
Oakland and
Yeah.
also Representative Dennis Arakaki.
Yeah, so it is a program that was, I always support it every year. So I will put it to a vote, a motion, and a second to see if this board would support this 33rd Children's and Youth Day at the State Capitol grounds and part of the Fossey grounds. The motion?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, there's a Robert.
Yeah.
Made the motion, seconded by Kevin, or seconded by Nicole. Any discussion? Go ahead, Kevin.
Thank you, Chair. Ms. Schillick, you may have mentioned, I may have missed it, but what is your budget for the project this year?
The budget this year, I should have Senator Chen with us, is probably over $10,000. A lot of donors. Yeah.
All from donors or any?
Yes, yeah.
Great, thank you.
Okay, let's vote. Kemi?
Okay, the motion is to support Children Youth Day 2026. Armstrong,
Yes.
Ho,
Yes.
Isokane,
Yes.
Lai,
Aye.
Mesis,
Yes.
Nguyen,
Yes.
Shintani,
Yes.
Sturgis,
Oh, Laura, you back? Go ahead.
if you can turn your mic on, Laura.
She's back. Your vote, Laura. Sound.
Okay, a thumbs
She
up.
said yes, thumbs
Yep.
up. Okay.
Okay, that's a yes. And then chair.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. 9 ayes, 0 no, 0 abstentions. The motion is adopted.
So unanimous. Thank you very much. And
Thank you
keep
very
doing
much.
this. We appreciate it. Thank you.
I appreciate the work that you folks do.
Yeah, thank you.
And all of you here, you just basically sharing aloha.
Yeah.
Okay. And all of you, I just heard you're invited to the Hawaii Pacific Run. I know we have one runner over here. Okay?
Yes. Yes. Whew. Okay, next one is the presentation of Downtown Honolulu Business Improvement District. And we welcome the VID Executive Director, Her name is Brooke Quinault. She's the head of the Honolulu Downtown Business Improvement District. Welcome.
Thank you so much for having me. Aloha. Aloha, everyone. So we made the transition from Fort Street Mall Business Improvement District to Downtown Honolulu Business Improvement District on July 1st. So I'm here providing an update. And I'd like to start with just some key facts about the organization for anyone who might not already be aware of who we are and what it is that we're doing. So we're established by city county ordinance. We are 501c3 not-for-profit. We're governed by a volunteer board of directors. We are funded through the special property assessment that's paid by property owners and businesses. And we have a very close relationship with the city and county of Honolulu. And the efforts, our programs supplement city services. They do not replace city services. And so our core function, and every business improvement district is unique. Our core functions are sanitation and maintenance, public safety and hospitality, events and programming, marketing and promotion, capital improvements and beautification, advocacy and economic development. So our boundaries have expanded quite a bit from just Fort Street Mall. So we now encompass 75 blocks, and the Mauka border is Baratenia Street, the Mackay border, Ala Moana Boulevard, Diamond Head Side, Richards, and Mililani Street, and Evaside, Nu'uanu. So as a brand new organization with expanded area and scope, we have to grow into all of that work. So our immediate priorities include establishing strong governance and financial stability, building relationships with all these new members that we now work with and represent, launching our Clean and Safe program. And so that very first pillar with our downtown ambassadors is now currently active. Rebuilding our communication channels so that it's migrated from Fort Street now to downtown Honolulu. And then growing the Fort Street Mall open market, which is also a program that carried over from the older bid. So I'd like to go into a bit more detail about our Clean and Safe program since it is currently active. Eventually, we will grow into that being a 4-pillar program with downtown ambassadors, safety network, which includes real-time communication and regular collaboration among property owners, businesses, private security, and public agencies. Activation of public spaces, so organizing events and activities that draw visitors and encourage everyday use of public spaces to deter negative activity. And then the final pillar is environmental design, which includes the strategic improvements to public space to discourage crime and unwanted behavior. And an example of that would be lighting improvements. So going into a bit more detail of the program that is actually active, pillar 1 of that 4-pillar program, the downtown ambassadors, those folks are providing both cleaning and safety services. July 1st through today, they've been mostly out there with their manual tools. So they have their push carts and their brooms. This month, we are expanding that cleaning service to include power washing. So that will make a big difference downtown. So between this month and November, so for 3 total months, our cleaning team will be working to establish a standard. And then after that, starting November, it's maintaining that standard. Specifically, the cleaning services include litter removal and debris sweeping, leaf blowing and removal, pressure washing, street furniture cleaning, graffiti abatement, weed removal, landscape watering, and miscellaneous special projects as assigned. The safety services, which is performed by a different team, and they have a guard card and additional training. They do foot and bike patrols, monitoring and reporting, outreach and welfare checks, safety escorts, business engagement, and visitor assistance. And so the important thing to know about our safety services, and well, I guess maybe let me back up 1 second. All of our team wears pink shirts. So in Waikiki, they're wearing green. In downtown, they're wearing pink. And the safety officers have their badge on their arm and information, or no, yeah, just the badge. And then the cleaning has like an eye, like an information. And the back should say safety or it should say cleaning. Each shift has a supervisor, so our team is out there with a supervisor as well. Additionally, we do not replace HPD. That we are just a service that refers either to outreach services to help the unhoused or anyone else experience some sort of medical or mental issue, or we are referring and escalating issues up to HPD. So they do not replace HPD, but they support. The staffing that we currently have, I brought these cards for anyone who's interested in the program, what they do and when they're operating, and also the number to call for services. So please feel free to grab one of those, and I have more in my bag if needed. But currently, as we're initially rolling out this program, with the funds we currently have, we are Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. to 10:30 p.m. That first morning shift, 6 a.m. to 2:30, includes both the cleaning and safety services. In the evening, from 2 to 10:30, it is just the safety services. So we're serving the tenants and businesses and the workers and customers of the daytime business district. Our goal is to raise funds and expand that to 24/7. So over time, we'll be adding Saturday, Sunday, and overnight coverage, and we'll be able to grow to serve the residents who live downtown, the early risers, the people who come to the gym early before they go to the office, and special events and nightlife. If anyone would just like to record it because they're here in the room or online, the number for the downtown ambassadors is 808-866-3163. That number is only answered during their functioning hours that I just listed, and they can only go to calls within the business improvement district. So if you call and you're not within the district, we cannot help you. The other thing I would like to update you on is the Fort Street Mall Open Market. We will be continuing that program and the legacy that is brought to downtown. It's been operating for over 20 years. It is year-round, Tuesdays and Fridays, operates between 7 a.m. and 1:30. It features 8 to 12 vendors selling produce, prepared food, and crafts. We are currently recruiting more vendors, so if you happen to know or operate your own independent small business and you would like to come to the market, please reach out to me. We'd be happy to have you. And as we grow as an organization, we intend to grow the market to, oh, thank you for pulling up the presentation. We intend to grow with music and games and themes and other creative partnerships that really make it a destination and amenity for residents and workers in downtown. How we would like to work together with the neighborhood board. Our commitment to you includes keeping you informed on our program's progress and emerging issues affecting downtown and Chinatown. To come and seek the neighborhood board's input and consider its perspectives when we're shaping our priorities, tactics, and actions. To work collaboratively with you to strengthen downtown as a thriving center for business and as a vibrant neighborhood. To support a clean, safe, welcoming, and well-managed public realm through supplemental services, coordination, and advocacy. To communicate clearly about what it is that we can do, what requires government or law enforcement action, and when greater partnership is needed. And then finally, to use data and on-the-ground observations to support informed decision-making, effective resource deployment, and accountability. And so on the last slide is my contact information. I'll be staying for the meeting, and a representative, either myself or someone else from the organization, will be in attendance in these meetings going forward. Thank you so much for your time and the opportunity to speak.
Wow, thank you. Questions from the audience to Brooke? Questions?
Jamie Barbosa. Brooke, I applaud you. I was out there your first day, 5 a.m. in the morning. Got to speak to you at 6 a.m. And one of the questions I do have is, can you tell me exactly when the power washing is going to start?
Yes, so we have had several delays with that program, and we apologize for that. The equipment is shipping from San Diego and currently still is sitting there. So our partners, the Waikiki bid, is allowing us to rent some of their equipment during the hours of operation that they are not currently using it. So it will be deployed in the district, I believe, next week. And it'll be 2 days here, 3 days there, for a while until our equipment arrives. Then our equipment will be operating within the hours that I mentioned, daytime.
Questions from the online folks? Any questions? from online? If not, I'm going to call on our board members. Those online? I see Bob's hand. Yeah. Go
Thank
ahead,
you,
Bob.
Madam Chair. Thank you. Brooke, we wish you all the success in the world. This board has been incredibly supportive from the beginning of the BID, and we will continue to be. I hope we'll have, at the very least, quarterly reports from you, if not monthly reports. I hope it's part of the agenda because I see our partnership as very vital. May I make a suggestion or two? First of all, I'm so happy to hear about graffiti remediation. This board has passed resolutions and like manners on this issue, and we've gotten very little traction. So maybe you will be successful with that. And may I also just suggest, particularly on the main drag like Hotel Street, could your office execute an audit of the non-functioning lights on the streets? Because I know that, for instance, right in front of McDonald's, the street lamp has not been working. Reached out to the city council member, reached out to 311. It just doesn't seem to get resolved. And I don't know the issue behind it. Maybe it's a broken, non-functioning light. But man, that's a real critical place to have some illumination. So just an audit in general to get you from square A forward, that would be, I think, an outstanding first step. And again, just so pleased that the business community is supportive of the BID. And if you are half as successful as the Waikiki one, you will be great. And I'm seeing the pink people all over the place. So good luck to you. Wish you well and really behind you. We got your back.
Okay. I see another hand up. Who's that? Is there another hand up? Okay, Dad, go ahead.
Thanks, Chair. Thank you for the good presentation. Sorry, we got the slides up a little late. They are in the Google Drive. We got the change. Thank you again. I've had the pleasure of running into some of the ambassadors early in the morning and talked with them in various regards, some of the people picking weeds and whatnot, and then also one of your kind of like leads and everything, and they've been very pleasant. They're attentive. They seem to have the same goals as us, and they're looking out for the neighborhood. And just really commend that and hope for the best. Thank you.
Thank you.
The chair would like to bring up 3.5.3A. In addition to the downtown Honolulu BID, they also require, according to their charter, a member of the board to attend their meeting as a non-voting member. There are two tiers of board. One is the owners and tenants, if I'm not correct. So they vote, and then the city send folks, and neighborhood board always sends the chair to the meeting, and the meeting is once a month or once every 2 months.
Once a month.
Once a month. So, and then, so we brought it to this board so that the board is informed that this is what the chair is going to do. And the chair also requests the BID to include the vice chair for coming to the meeting. So this is to inform our board that this is what this chair intends to do, to invite the vice chair along to this meeting. Would that be all right?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's perfectly fine. I think for attendance sake, that makes a lot of sense for two people to be.
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
it. Yeah, sure.
Because I think it's good that, I bring along my vice chair, so then he can offer, some ideas and things instead of one person, because this is very important district, and just didn't want to have him miss it. So, yeah. All right. So I want to thank you and welcome to your new job. And then also we like for you to come in and report to us, share with us every month, and we put Camilla will put you on the agenda for the community reports once a month.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I have a question from Kevin.
Chair, thank you. Two things. First, since we brought up item 5.3A first, it is the chair's authority to appoint a delegate, but it's the board's responsibility to define what the scope of those delegates will do. So I think that's worthy of a discussion, hopefully tonight, because that's, I think that's duly noticed and implied. But secondly, if I may address Brooke, and please, if these things are outside of your purview, please let me know. What fraction of the tax that's levied goes directly to the 501c3 itself? Number next, are you or your team responsible for controlling the chickens that are on 4th Street Mall now? And if so, can we get some of the chicken traps? Number next, are bikes, e-bikes, and smoking permitted on 4th Street Mall now? And then lastly, the Union Square occupied building, so to speak, is that under your purview? Do you have a representative from that building that's involved in any of this? Because that seems to be an ongoing issue. Thank you.
Would you mind giving me those one at a time?
Certainly.
Thank you.
Of the BID tax that's levied or whatnot, how much goes directly to you for operations, or is there a middleman somewhere?
There's no middleman.
Okay. The chickens on 4th Street,
That's the first time I've heard about that. I can see what, who the responsible party would be for that, but
Great,
happy
thank
to
you.
help.
And then bikes, e-bikes, and smoking on 4th Street, are there any changes to the regulations in that area?
It should be no smoking because it at one point was a park and still has parks bookending each end. In regards to the e-bikes, I believe Councilor Dos Santos Tam is working on revising whatever is currently on the books to make it more bike friendly. I do not know how they're addressing any electrified or motorized bike. So I'm unable to answer that question.
Okay, thank you. And then lastly, the
Kevin.
controversial building.
You're asking 5 questions. I need to give the board, other people a chance. Let me come back to you.
Okay, we'll interrupt the last question. We'll come back. Thank you.
Okay.
Nicole? Hey, Ian, questions? No, you go ahead. You have a question.
I was going to respond to Kevin's question about what we would do. Is it appropriate now?
You are talking about chickens or the bikes?
I think we are finishing up the question about the controversial building at Union Square that's occupied by people. Are they involved in the BID in any way?
Okay, good question. I do not have much information. I have not been in direct contact with any of the people who at some point were owners. I know that there's been a legal case that's been active. I get updates on occasion from Roy, the Director of Homeless Solutions, but it's been a while since I've received an update. There was some activity the other day that was shared with me by our ambassadors. They noticed something that was out of the ordinary, and it looked like there were people, they weren't able to determine who those people were, but there was a movement in and out of the building. And from the photos they shared, I wasn't able to identify those people either.
Okay. The chair does have 2 items. One is the Friday night noise and the problems on Hotel Street, especially on first Fridays, and then noise and mayhem coming from Scarlet on Friday and Saturdays. So I wanted to ask you what are the plans to curb some of this problem, working with HPD or your own security? Because it is a problem for the neighbors.
Well, thank you for sharing that. I can come back with some information on that. This is the first I've gotten.
Good, yeah. Anything else? No, and we thank you for your presentation. We wish all the best and come back if you have issues, anything that we can help you with.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay, moving along. We have item 6.
Point of order, Chair.
Oh,
We're
I'm
going to
sorry.
address 5.3A, please.
Okay, 5.3A. I thought we talked about that already.
I'm sorry, Chair. The board needs to define the scope of representation that the chair and the vice chair will make to the BID, just so we can have on the record what you'll be doing there and what we can expect from you when you report back to the board.
The chair intends to report back to the board. So that's why I like to have the vice chair so that we're not missing anything. What we will be doing, sitting at their board meeting, is to listen to their issues, and then we have the right to also offer suggestion. But when it comes to agenda item, we cannot vote. So we can bring back the information we learn or what we can offer to help back to the board so that members of our board are informed. about the BID meetings and what their decisions are or what their plans are. That's the scope.
Thank you,
We
Chair.
don't control the agenda, but we are there to listen and to offer our help.
Right, thank you. And the point is not from their perspective, but from ours. You know, what will you or you two or whomever is there do on behalf of the board? You mentioned offer help. That's something that we as a board need to decide and determine what you are then eligible or authorized to do on the board's behalf. That's what I'm seeking clarification for. Maybe Vice Chair has some comments. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, my comments are still along the lines of being informed and listening. I think providing some community context for questions and things like that. And then I think most importantly, they will have a spot on our agenda. So I think really it comes down to ensuring that the two-way communication with Board 13 is held up. So really ensuring that most importantly.
Kevin, to answer your question about help, I'm not independently offering them help, but as a board, we should extend help to the VID because this is a very important constituent. And so, you know, NB 13 is there to help our constituents. They are one of them. So if they have an issue, they can bring it up to us. The board will discuss it and we'll do what we can. And I'm representative of this board at the meeting. So that's what I would be representing to them, our observation about what's happening over there. That's like I mentioned to her about the noise, the mayhem, the stuff that we want some actions taken. So this is where I would be working with Dan and with them.
Chair, thank you. I think you sufficiently stated for the record that you don't intend to offer anything above and beyond what the board itself has authorized it to do for the BID, and appreciate you coming back for the reports. And then we can decide what we would like to do if there is an offer or a need to do something. Information exchange sounds great. Thank you.
You're most welcome. So let's move on to item 6. 6.1. We have a resolution on broadcast access.
Point of order, Chair.
I believe that Robert Puntero is online to make presentation. Robert?
Chair, I have a point of order.
Oh,
Thank you. Chair, I really regret to have to say this, but I am concerned that if the board does discuss and vote on any of these items, 6.1 and 6.2, that we could stand in violation of sunshine law, technically because of the release of a board packet earlier today that is within the 48 hours prior to the meeting itself. OIP has opined that this deprives the public of the ability to receive the same board packet and information and then decide to submit comments to our board for review. There is no IP letter that supports this, and so I again caution that we suggest that we strongly consider deferring this until next month and make sure that it's duly and properly agendized. Thank
okay.
you.
Comments from the rest of the board. Go ahead. Dan?
Sure, thanks, Chair. So I wrote a few notes on this. I'd like to begin by apologizing for a clerical error regarding related to the agenda item. The resolution was received on July 2nd. However, when it was forwarded to the neighborhood assistant, the attachment did not follow. So as a result, it was not available for distribution until very late, just today. The neighborhood assistant, though, promptly obtained it and uploaded it. We appreciate her quick action, but right now, I think it could be, if invite any board members who were able to review the resolution to maybe share some initial comments or questions. But since the full resolution was only recently made available, I think it would be appropriate to defer any action as well or vote until the next meeting.
Any other board comments online? Robert?
Madam Chair. Okay to speak? If you recall, last month in July, I introduced to all the board members and alerted the public of the resolution regarding Hotel Street. So in my opinion, I'm not a lawyer and nor am I a city administrator, but in my opinion, the public had been notified at least on resolution 6.2 that over a month ago, this was going to be on the agenda. And by the way, I appreciate it being put on the agenda. Maybe with 6.1, it's a different situation, but I think we can move forward comfortably on the Hotel Street resolution.
Helen?
Chair, thank you. There is still an outstanding point of order on which you need to make a ruling.
On 6.1, the chair suggests that we defer this to September. So is there consent or all agree to this for 6.1 to be deferred to September, Robert? Cordero?
You know, Chair, I did send in the attachment. I'm not sure exactly why it wasn't provided, but I'm okay with deferring it. This is a very important issue. I would prefer for everyone to weigh in with their concerns so we can actually move forward. So I'm okay with tabling it and deferring it until next month. That sounds great to me.
Yeah. I think there was a glitch in the email forwarding so that the neighborhood assistant did not receive the materials until too late. And then when she requested that you resend them, and it's too late to be published for the greater audience. So that is the reason why. Yeah, go ahead.
Chair, thank you. To clarify, the point that I'm raising is not the receipt or non-receipt of it earlier, but it's the distribution of a board packet today, which is the technical violation. Regarding 6.2, again, that's an outstanding point of order for you to rule on, but I do think there is a solution that the board can discuss this, but just not vote on it. That is actually how OIP did not find another board at fault when the similar situation arose. They had the materials, they discussed it, did not vote on it. They were not deemed to be in violation, but we still need to make a ruling.
Okay, noted. So what I want to do is proceed with 6.1, whether there's consensus that we defer this. If there's no objection, we will defer it. Okay.
I was still proposing that if anyone has any input in the case that they did read it, maybe now is a good time to bring some questions up for clarifications for the folks that did, but defer the vote. That's what I'm saying. So we did get it late, but some people may have read it. And if there's any from the public.
Anybody had the chance to read it?
Chair, I did.
Oh,
May I speak, Chair?
comments. Wait. Yeah. Yeah. Not yet. Yeah. So, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so we're aware, me and my office are aware of this problem too. And so what I had proposed to Mr. Cortero was that I can't introduce any more bills myself unless we have a special session, which is unlikely. But I would get a bill ready for him, what we would call SMA it and run it through the Senate Majority Office so that it's in the correct legal form for next session, and he can try to get whoever's next to introduce
This
it.
is regarding 6.1, right?
Yes, sorry, 6.1. This is the,
Illegal, yeah.
this is the one on antenna for, yeah, okay. So at this point, the attorney that still works for me is looking at it, and it's all three levels of government seem to be involved or possibly involved. So we're still trying to sort out the legalities, which we'll need to do to have the bill ready. So just really an FYI that we are looking at it. I'm all in favor of you guys doing the reso, however you want to do it.
Right.
But we are looking at the legalities to try to get it in the correct legal form.
Okay. Thank you, Senator.
Thanks, Chair. Mr. Robert, I did do a little research because I was trying to see if there was maybe a simple solution. That being, what infrastructure is at the building. I checked on that and confirmed. And then regarding the spectrum, I remember in recent past, folks used to be able to just connect their TV to the coaxial jack on the wall and still get basic, but that was when the system was analog, and that's been changed to digital. So that is no longer available. So it just kind of substantiates what you're saying, and that we will have to go other route. I was just hoping, but that's where my research ended. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. May I make
hand
a
up.
comment for a couple minutes? Just
Hang on. I have a question from one of my board members, Holy Horses. Ross?
Oh, thank you, Chair. And I just wanted to mahalo Robert for, your very hard work and research on this. I think we're probably going to end up deferring it, so you'll get a chance to present on this next month, probably in full. But since you're here and since Vice Chair Mestis kind of commented if anyone had a reaction, because I did read it. My quick reaction is just again, when we're looking at regulations, employing more regulations, especially in the housing development space, my concern is that kind of does fly in the face of what our governor has been really, really working on for his entire term. So again, I'm not, I don't think we're making a decision on it now. I'm just highlighting some things. I didn't get a sense for what the breadth of people who were impacted were. So that might be something you could add to your presentation. If there was testimony from your neighbors, I'd like to see how many people this impacts. Because a part of me is thinking, boy, if it's just one building and just a couple of people, doing a statewide regulation that's going to impact all developers might be a little overkill. And so our last thing, unless Chair cuts me off on time, I don't know where I am, but a part of me was reading and thinking, boy, this would be a fun grants and aid. A lot of our nonprofits for our kapuna, who are underprivileged, we could get funding to nonprofits for this as a pilot program. Anyway, looking forward to your presentation soon.
Okay, Robert, go ahead.
Yeah, well,
Robert?
thank you, Ross. That's exactly what I wanted to comment on because it's a very comprehensive draft I put together. But what's driving me behind this is public safety and equal access concern. So I live in a community where I would consider the majority are the vulnerable segment of society. So I would like to safely assume that the entire board is not included in that society. So if you're not in that community, you're not even aware what's going on. But if I can briefly just share, no resident should be cut off from community safety information because of age, disability. Let me see. Excuse me, I got this written down. Because of age, shucks, I just lost my place. Oh, here we go. Income, housing status, technology barriers, or the design choices of systems the resident does not control. For many residents, access to local broadcast stations is not merely an entertainment preference. It's a connection to emergency alerts, severe weather warnings, evacuation and disaster information, local news and public affairs, public health notices and health education, government and election information, cultural and community programming, educational opportunities, language access programming, arts and entertainment, nationally broadcast sporting events, and community continuity during emergencies and periods of isolation. So when you're in a vulnerable segment of society, they don't even have access to technology. I've seen too many of my neighbors pass away in the past 2 years alone. I'm surprised how many of my neighbors who seem ambulatory one day and pass away the next. I see so many of them isolated. I'm very fortunate that I'm able to have technology and I have access, but I see the problem in society. There are many of us in this community that do not have access to over-the-air information. And it's like beachfront access. When you start building, no matter if it's corporate or a homeowner, you have to provide public access to the beaches. So this is not the same, but this is. So the right to have free access to over the air, in theory, it sounds great. But we're living in a time where it's becoming more difficult, especially in an urban society. So thank you, Ross, because there's actually a large portion of our community that are vulnerable, especially in the urban area. So that's what's driving me. I've seen too many of my neighbors suffering. I'm trying to help people here in my own way and in my own fashion. So that's what's driving me is to prevent the separation of the vulnerable part of our society. And it's over-the-air access. It should be free. So as buildings are coming up and we're losing that right, there should be guardrails for right of access. So
Robert,
thank you.
I'm going to stop you there. And then we will meet again in September, and you can give us the full presentation, and then the board can discuss it and then make a decision to support or not. Thank you.
Thank you.
Do we have
Thank you, Chair.
another
Thank you,
question?
Board.
Yeah. Yes?
Chair, thank you. I just hope that if Mr. Cortero does come back next month, that the proposal as written could maybe be tightened up a little bit. And also, I'd like to hear his opinion on, I think it's the FCC Code 47.1.4 thousand, which says that any owner or tenant should have the right to install equipment in that area that's owned or controlled by that owner or tenant to access some of the signals. And so I'm concerned again about if this would result in a regulation to mandate provision of something that's not now mandated, and the economic impact of that would be useful to hear as well. Thank you.
Okay, Robert, you heard what he wants. So maybe you can add that to your, pad up your resolution and send it in to Camila, okay?
Okay, thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you, Chair. Thank you,
All
Board.
right,
And
thank you
thank you,
so
Senator.
much. Yeah, okay, so, everyone, so deferment of 6.1, everybody in agreement? Yes? All right,
Yes.
so there's no objection, it is so ordered. 6.2, resolution on, the hotel street painting and signage. Bob Armstrong.
I'll be very
Oh,
quick.
wait,
Madam-
hang on a minute. I do have an objection here from Kevin Lai. He thinks that it's improper for us to discuss it.
Chair, I simply wanted to follow up on the point of order that was raised about the apparent violation of sunshine law regarding the board packet that was distributed tonight. Thank you.
Okay, so Bob, you're aware of that. So I'm going to put it to the board for whether to proceed or not proceed to defer it because of the possible violation of the sunshine law, right? 48 hours.
Just, Madam Chair, is Patrick Smith still in the room?
Yeah, he's here.
Why don't you ask
Well-
him if, you know, if it was notified publicly last month, where we would stand today if we were to move forward?
Yes, please. Yeah.
The problem is the OIP is very definitive on board packets. They have to be distributed 3 days in advance, not necessarily 36 hours, but it gets a little complicated. But the fact is that I think if the board had just proceeded and read out the actual resolution, but the fact it was distributed to the board members within, you know, that inappropriate window where it wasn't supposed to, kind of taints the going forward.
It
And
was
I'm not, I know
last
Kevin said
month.
there's a decision. I was, you know, I didn't know about this issue, so I didn't research it. And unfortunately, I don't have a lot to bring to the table, so I don't really know the answer. And I don't really want to make a decision for the board in that regard. So I would just say, probably it would be prudent to maybe put it off. But it's the chair and the board's decision. So sorry, I can't.
Okay. All right. Madam Chair, may I make this suggestion?
Yes.
May I read the resolution into the record today, and then we'll have the discussion and vote next month. That way, at least we're covered for 30 days. We have notified the public, because this is an issue that we need to address and get the city moving forward on.
Well, members, what do you think? You want to listen to this or you're gonna wait?
Chair, thank you. I mean, as I said before, OIP has suggested that we can discuss the matter, just not vote on it tonight. And then next month, don't send the board packet. Thank you.
Go ahead then. Robert, go ahead.
Okay. All right. Well, this is just simply a resolution that, you know, because we are advisory only as a neighborhood board. This is to get the city to move a little bit faster and a little bit further on the issue of protecting Hotel Street for non-vehicular traffic. It works very, very safely and cogently in Waikiki. And what I'm suggesting in this resolution that we basically paint the street so that there's proper markings at the beginning and the end of Hotel Street plus signage. So the resolution reads, Whereas there have been several serious and potentially deadly vehicular accidents on Hotel Street in Honolulu's Chinatown, and whereas Hotel Street is a major pedestrian, tourist, and bus thoroughfare and must be kept free from passenger vehicular congestion for safety reasons, and whereas creating a well-marked and designated zone for bus-only traffic on Hotel Street had previously worked effectively in Honolulu's Chinatown, and whereas a similar bus-only lane works without issue, controversy, or congestion in nearby Waikiki, and whereas there are not enough police officers with the Honolulu Police Department to enforce current traffic laws on Hotel Street, despite having a substation located there, and whereas marking Hotel Street in red with the words bus only is a simple, quick, visible, and cost-effective way to ensure future safety for all local and visiting pedestrians and buses. Now, therefore, be it resolved, the current members of the Downtown Chinatown Neighborhood Board call upon the City and County of Honolulu to immediately repaint in red the relevant sections of Hotel Street as bus only, to inform passenger vehicles the street is restricted. And be it further resolved, the City and County of Honolulu begin erecting signs on Hotel Street prohibiting passenger vehicular traffic, to maintain its current 15-mile-per-hour speed for buses, and communicate the passage of this resolution to all necessary stakeholders, including the City and County Transportation Services, the Honolulu Police Department, the Sheriff Office, Oahu Transit Services Incorporated, local taxi companies, Uber and Lyft offices, other relevant government agencies, and the news media. I did hear back from our council member. He was supportive of this, suggested that, we make sure that the signs are part of this resolution, and thus it is part of this issue. So hopefully, if there are any questions, I can answer or we can discuss and vote on this next month. Thank you, Chair.
Okay, we do have a suggestion from Vice Chair of a possible amendment to your resolution, Robert.
Bob, yeah, I think a couple things. The Waikiki comparison, maybe I would suggest removing that ensure future safety to improve visibility, compliance, and safety. The comment about immediately repaint in red, I think something more like evaluate and where appropriate, restore.
Red is what they do in
restore-
Waikiki.
Sure, restore red pavement markings in bus only designation. And then maybe lastly, regarding there are not enough police officers piece, maybe something more neutral, consistent enforcement of existing traffic restrictions on Hotel Street has been challenging. Just those three ideas.
But
Otherwise, it's
I'm not so sure if DTS would go for red. So I don't think it's wise to designate a color. And maybe it's better to say to be painted reflective paint
Well,
by
It was
DTS.
just to be
We don't know if
consistent
it
with
would
what
go
we do
with
in
the
Waikiki.
resolution for painting it red.
Well, I'm just being consistent with the city. That's all that is. If
Okay.
it's good for Waikiki, it's pretty much good for us, I would think.
Chair, if I have my hand raised,
Uh, Yeah.
Oh, Chair, if I may, I'll defer to Mr. Isakani.
Okay, Ross.
Mahalo, Chair. Sorry, I just wanted to inform you just in case you weren't looking. But I just want to say, Bob, Board Member Armstrong, mahalo for putting this to paper. I would have voted if we could have voted today with the exact wording that you had. I thought it was great. We've been talking about this as a board for some time, so thank you for putting in the work and effort to put it on paper. With the details, I think DTS, it's a non-binding resolution, so DTS will take it and act appropriately, I'm confident. So anyway, thank you for doing that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Pivot.
Russ.
Chair, thank you. I support the intent behind this resolution. I think we all want fewer accidents, safer corridor for pedestrians and bus riders. But my concerns are that as written, the resolution is technically a little bit incomplete. And if adopted and forwarded on, it could make us look a little bit uninformed. So we know that under traffic code, a city transit bus lane can only be designated by the director of DTS here in Honolulu. It's nearly 100% likely that is already the way most of Hotel Street has been organized. We just need to make sure that that's the case. But it's maybe unclear that if that's not the case, should the city do a study? Does it need to do something else about that to bring that into alignment? But importantly, at the federal level, the Manual on Uniform Traffic Control Devices and Federal Highway rather administrations, they do approve use of red methyl methacrylate pavement paint, and that can make it, appear that the lane is designated for certain types of traffic, but it's not sufficient. There must be appropriate signage. And one thing we said here many, many times is the signs stink because it's letting the pedestrian cars inadvertently turn on to the road, whether they're an Uber driver or not. So that's something that needs to be part of the proposed solution here. The other concern is that long-term with transit-oriented development, Hotel Street might become one-way. And so we need to find out if we apply this super sticky paint now, is that going to have an impact on if that change comes in the future? But again, I appreciate the proposal. I think that we should defer until next month. Thank you.
Okay, so let's have consensus to defer this to September. Everyone, if no objection, so noted. Okay, so it will go to September, Bob. Okay, Camilla? Yeah. All right, now 7.1 board vote to approve draft written summaries of the regular meeting video record for Thursday, June 4th, 2026, and Thursday, July 2nd, 2026. Any discussion on that? Okay, go ahead.
Chair, thank you. Just a quick question. Can you confirm that the draft written summary for June 2026 was posted online on the NCO website on 31 July 2026?
I'll defer to the neighborhood assistant. She can answer you directly.
Yes, they were posted.
Thank you.
All right, so 7.1, if there's no objection, we will pass. Okay, so it's so passed, right? 7.2, Kevin Lai brought this up to me, so we put it on the agenda. Appointment of a representative to the Oahu Metropolitan Planning Commission, organization known as Oahu MPO, Citizen Advisory Committee. So in the past few years, we haven't had a representative going to Oahu MPO. But now that it's been brought up, it's usually this board would appoint a representative. If the chair is not the one going, then we need to have a representative. So I want to ask if there are any volunteers that would like to go. You'd like to go? Okay. So Nicole would like to go, and who else like to go? And then we'll put it to a vote. Yeah, Kevin likes to go. Who else like to go?
Chair, sorry. I
Yeah.
was just asking to be recognized, Chair.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make it clear that a board is not limited to a delegate being on the board itself, but could be a member of the public if so interested. Just want to make that sure was available for
Okay, yeah.
people.
I think that if we have a committed member who wants to go and report back to the board, that's okay too. But I normally, this board, as long as I've known, is always sent by one of our board members attend. And then I don't know how often they meet, but then the board members, whoever is appointed, will then report back to our board. So all of us are informed. So, all right, there's one volunteer. Nicole Shintani wants to represent us. So if there are no objections, I would say yes, we will appoint her. Okay, no objections. All right, Nicole, you are it. Thank you. All right. So, yeah, so it is a discussion that's a federal agency that is, informing about their plans, about any development. Pardon?
I have my friend like.
A mic.
Yeah. No, sorry. I was saying that I have friends in MPO. I have worked with them in the past. I was with the Hawaii State Energy Office and yeah.
That's very good. Yeah, thank you.
So
Evan?
Chair, thank you. I'd like to ask our new OMPO rep to find out why yesterday's meeting was canceled. Report to us next month, please. Thank you.
She's not a representative yet. So don't give it a hard time. Don't give her a hard time.
no, although on that note, I would like maybe more of a rundown on duties and when
Yeah,
those
go ahead
meetings
and
happen.
give us a little intro that you know. Yeah, go ahead, intro if you want to.
No,
say-
I want to know more information about when
Yeah.
those meetings take place.
Yeah, I don't know. So they would, you have to find out when they have a meeting and that you are appointed by this board. You have to go online and find out when's the next meeting. Okay?
It used to be
So
City
you
Hall.
you have to be the one to check when the meeting is, show up for the meeting and then report back to us. Okay? So that's your job. All right. All right. Next one, elected officials, item number 8.
Point
So
of
I have-
clarification, Madam Chair.
Just
What,
asking.
a point of clarification. How did we dispose of item 7.1?
It's a no objection, so
Oh, okay.
if there's
Sorry.
no
sorry.
objection, so approve.
Thank you. Thank you. Sorry.
Yeah, thank you. So we now on item number 8, Bob. Are you on the same page?
Mhm.
Okay, good. So, any representative from, Congressman Ed Case? Seeing none? All right, go Governor Greens. I have, Stephen, Downs. Thank you for coming. And thank you for the email to add the material to the drive. Thank you.
Good evening. In response to last month's questions, I'll go through them one by one. The LED update on lights at the Capitol, about 65% of those fluorescent lights have been replaced. The rest will be replaced as the old ones stop working. Regarding illegal signs posted on medians at state roads, HDOT will remove the signs and if they're illegally placed, and unclaimed signs will be disposed of after 2 weeks. As far as I know, there are no fines issued by DOT. Regarding, if you want to report illegal outdoor advertising, in the handout, there are phone numbers and emails to do so. Regarding noise cameras, the latest update on that is the crews were scheduled to install a noise camera at Poly Highway and Vineyard Boulevard last evening. So it should be up on an existing light post in front of the YMCA. There is a plan to install a noise camera at River Street. However, it's still in the works. They're working with the city to gain access and a right of way to use their light pole or their pole. The last question regarded flood insurance rate maps in certain parts from South Kukui Street to South Kukui Street from North Kukui Street and its effect on insurance rates. The city and FEMA worked on those revisions. The FEMA used hydrology studies to study the effect of rainfall on runoff and stream flow. There is a way to ask FEMA to redraw the maps, and those that information and link is on the handout. I can entertain any more questions.
Okay, anybody from the audience with questions for Governor Green's representative? Seeing none. Anyone online? Questions? Oh, that's Kevin McDonald. Go ahead.
Thank you, Chair, and thank you to the governor's representative for being here today. I have 2 concerns that I would like to bring up with the governor's office today. The first one, I'm very fortunate as a proud American to have gotten to go to the nation's capital, Washington, D.C., for the celebration of the 250th birthday of our nation. As a proud American, I was very happy to be there and participate in the celebration there. However, I was very disappointed, extremely disappointed, and it's unacceptable. There was a celebration on the National Mall at which every single state in the Union and all of the territories were invited to have a representation of their state's wonderful properties and things that they have to offer. And Hawaii for one reasons that I will never understand, but still would like an explanation for, did not send a delegation to represent our great state at this wonderful and amazing 250-year event. We have ample budget for this. We have a Hawaii Visitors Bureau that has millions of dollars at their disposal to represent, and we are a tourist-based economy. We have no excuse for not being represented at this amazing event. I would like to know who was responsible for making the decision to not send a delegation and representation
Kevin, you
of
ran over
our
time.
state.
Oh, Kevin, let him answer. You ran over time.
Can I just finish 30 seconds? 30 seconds more?
Okay.
Thank you, Chair. So I'd like to know who was responsible for making the decision not to send it to the delegation and why they reached that conclusion. And I also would like to know, Hawaii was recently surveyed as the worst state in the union to start and operate a small business. What does the governor plan to do to correct that also catastrophic stigma? Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Chair, for extending my time. I would hope that
Answer
the assistant.
Okay. He's gonna answer your question. Kevin. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, I'll come back to you. I need to research it and I'll come back.
Great. I
Anybody else?
appreciate it if you could respond during the meeting and not in some Google Drive. That would be great.
Yeah. I have Ross Shintani.
Was that me, Chair? Sorry, I heard Ross Washington.
It's online. That's it.
I'm,
Who's
I'm,
first?
I'm sorry, Chair. Is that me or is that Nicole first?
You said my last name, but his first name.
Oh, I'm sorry. Ross. Sorry, Ross.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead. Thank you,
Yeah.
Chair. Aloha,
It's
Stephen.
Otani.
Thank you.
I'm
Aloha,
sorry.
Stephen. Good
I
to see you
just
again.
changed his last name.
Oh, no problem. No problem. I'm going to go ahead and start. So I wanted to talk about some of the concerning reporting going on about corruption in our state government, some of the ongoing cases. I think it's not a stretch to say that the state of voters' trust in our system is really low right now. We're already seeing low voter turnout signals for the upcoming primary. Now, some comments. I mean, the governor signed SB 2471. That was the Citizens United loophole. So really applaud those efforts. But the contractor immediate family loophole remains open. And we're seeing real examples of that in the ongoing cases. Now, 2 bills to close the contractor loophole, trying to close the gap, were tried, but they failed. So I just wanted to check what the governor's thoughts on this contractor loophole was. I know the governor's office has not supported a special session that has been suggested, but looking ahead to next session, would the governor support a strong bill banning contractor and immediate family contributions, both for the executive and legislative branches, with real public disclosure requirements? Looking forward to seeing his leadership on this really important issue. Mahalo.
Okay. So, okay. And then go ahead.
Thank you, Chair. Appreciate the feedback on the LED. Just for everyone's disclosure, I do work for Hawaii Energy, but I just wanted to make sure that this point is understood. Someone from my office is in touch with Jimmy Kurata, but with respect to replacing the remainder of the lamps at Burnout, there's a problem with that due to a nuance regarding the EPA, the state and ban on the fluorescent lamps. If they wait till Burnout for the remaining lamps, not be able to get incentives from Hawaii Energy, which will increase the cost. And second, the comment regarding using an energy savings performance contract, doing that on something that already has a very high rate of return, such as fluorescent to LED lights, I would recommend against that and consider, doing that with in-house and just getting it done. But I'd leave it at that. Thank you.
Okay. Anybody else? Or Kevin? Yeah.
Chair, thank you. Mr. Downs, thank you for coming and thank you for the detailed notes that you posted to the Google Drive. regarding the noise camera, if I understand correctly, it's on the northbound side of Poly Highway near Vineyard Boulevard, which means people going in that direction. But I'm wondering if there is still any interest or availability to place a noise camera on New Anu Avenue, because that's when people are leaving the bars and gunning their engine late gardens and whatnot. And secondly, your note suggests that there's still a plan to put a noise camera at River Street for some reason, and I don't know what data suggests that there was a loud noise issue at River and I think it was Baratania as referenced last time. Regardless of that, when will we get data about these? And then separately from that, thank you for the notes about the median advertising signs, and when will there be some action to pick up the signs that are still there, and even more than I mentioned last month? Do they patrol or make rounds monthly, biweekly? Thank you.
If you have locations, I can take them down tonight and then I can report.
Certainly. Vineyard Boulevard median between Punch Bowl and New Anu.
Okay, anybody else? No. Thank you, Stephen. You got a lot.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming. Next will be 8.3. We call upon Mayor Rick Blancheri's representative, Deputy Director Ian Santi, online.
Hi, Chair.
Welcome.
Hi, Chair and Committee. Good evening. Again, Ian Santi, Mayor Blangiardi's rep. I am pulling up my report. Thank you again for your time. Again, please go and take a look at the mayor's newsletter. Just some highlights. The Hawaii driver's license has got a new state ID and new look to it. They're moving forward to it, a TOD development in the Ivole Koili area. Chief David Lazar was officially sworn in as the 13th Chief of Police. We're celebrating the 250. We just celebrated the 250th anniversary of America, and the city is lowering school zone speed limits to improve safety. Along those lines, the response to some questions, again, bus route 151. Question was raised about that going on Mauna Kea Street. So what the Department of Transportation did, the Chinatown, Kuakini, Kaluwela traveling on Mauna Kea Street, they removed bus stop number 4877 from its original location fronting Cindy's Lace Shop and relocated it to Hotel Street. This action was completed on Sunday, July 12th. And then continuing run Route 151, Mackay bound on Mauna Kea Street to serve Nimitz and provide Chinatown riders access to the Ivole area. Bus riders will continue to be able to transfer to Route 7 at bus stop number 4787 at Nimitz and Keikaulike. The next one is in regards to police patrols. HPD from July 13th to the 26th, District 1 Central Oahu patrol officers were assigned to address the area ongoing issues. A total of 5 sit-lie warnings were issued, and those were found in violation that left the area without incident. Officers did note an increase in the number of individuals which may be directly connected to the syringe exchange program, returning to the Kukui Street side of Ke'elekeolani Middle School. Officers will continue to patrol the area to deter immediate address any criminal activity, including sidewalk nuisance ordinance. We encourage the public to call 911 if there's any questions. And that's all I have for reports. I do have just a comment on lower speed zones for the Department of Transportation. Posted speed limits on the City and County of Honolulu roadways that border school will be changed from 25 miles per hour when children are present to 20 miles an hour per children present between the hours of 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. And then lastly, the mayor's office, the Youth Climate Action Fund application window, the city's mayor office of climate change, sustainability and resilience, Honolulu Youth Commissioner implementing the Youth Climate Action Fund for youth up to 4,999 to design and implement a climate project. Applications are accepted from July 27th through September 7th. That is the, you can go to www.resilientoahu.org. For an application, and that is the end of my report, pending any questions. And I believe, Chair, you should have gotten this by an email for the drive, and if not, we'll make sure that you do.
Just a question of clarification, Director Santi. Can you repeat what you just said about the needle exchange on Kukui Street?
Sure. I think what was said was hold on, let me see. That was in response to that was in response to the request about police patrols. Again, the police patrol, a resident brought up to the board's attention recurring illegal drug activity around Kukui Street and houses individuals loitering near the loading area of Polly Longs. He requested that HPD conduct more frequent patrols. So what I stated was officers did note an increase in the number of individuals which may be directly connected to the syringe exchange program, SEP, returning to the Kukui Street side of the middle school. That's pretty much all I said in that. So they will continue to patrol the area and immediately address any criminal activity, and they encourage everybody to call 911.
Ian, the
Yes.
clarification we need is the van run by that Hawaiian group?
I do not have that information, and we will follow up to get you that information.
Are you saying that the customers returning or the van is returning to Kukui Street? I'm not clear. You just said needle exchange returning. So I'm not sure if the needle exchange truck and van returning to that spot, which has been a big trouble for us, or that the people returning are the drug addicts.
Got it. I think what it's implying, and I can follow up for you, Chair, it's implying that the syringe exchange program is returning to the Kukui Street side of the middle school. So the van.
You'd like to register a straight protest on that. Absolutely. Straight protest. They're not supposed to return there because it's on the path of the students and kapunas. So anyway, I do have questions, and then I want to yield to the person in the audience. Great, go ahead, Doc Pyle. Yeah.
Yeah, this is Doug Pyle. I'm a resident at Kukui Plaza. A lot of our residents notice daily the variety of drug activity. Honestly, there used to be a lot of homeless, mentally ill. I think the example of success around having temporary housing elsewhere for with those with mental illness is an example of problems are solvable. It's not that it's solved 100%, but it's improved significantly with that population. We need to do the same kind of an effort for those with addiction. And it's frankly tragic for the addicts themselves. I mean, I see a lot of folks who are probably in their 20s and look much older, who are addicted and having their lives disrupted through addiction and through promotion of whatever other drugs they're using. So for the safety of the kids, though, this is right by this very school. It's the pathway. We're talking about safe street passages to schools. That's what this is all
I
about.
hear you, because this was opposed by this board, and many complaints were filed against the dispensing of the needles at that spot. And it should never, never be returned. So this is a strong objection from a lot of us. So Ian, you're going to take it back and remove that ban.
It's a matter of location, not the problem with the program, but the location. Is
Hang on.
Understood.
I have another test.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Hi, this is Shoshana again. I just want to second, I want to second Shulan's opposing that, because I've been reporting to HPD multiple times. Like the most recent one was like maybe a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks ago. I found needles inside of our bushes. And yeah, that's becoming an ongoing issue, is that they're getting these, it's great that they're able to exchange the dirty needles for new needles, but it's just that they're not properly disposing these needles after using. So that's the issue.
I have board
Understood.
members. Go ahead, board members. I think whose hands up? Who's first? Go ahead then.
Thanks, Chair. Director Santi, I just wanted to bring back up the Kekaulike and Nimitz bus stop lighting issue. I think in June, it was mentioned that there was a temporary light installed adjacent at a construction site. I checked that recently and did not observe that. And I also asked 2 bus riders, and they also said that it is not lit. And additionally, the work order R2026-15221 is still open in progress. And I'm looking for an update and follow-up. Thank you.
Okay, no, thank you. And can you give that to the neighborhood assistant, the work order number, so we can follow up with it? Thank you.
Anyone else on the board? Okay, Kevin?
Chair, thank you, Mr. Santee. Three quick things. First, I know there's a different process for requesting assistance with feral chickens on city land versus private property. But in the land that's formerly known as Kamali'i Mini Park, which is city property, there are a lot of chickens now. Can the chicken traps be initiated on the city side to go to that area? Because I think that will help the residential towers that are surrounding that particular plot of previous park. Secondly, note was made earlier about the potential directional changes within Hotel Street. Are you able to confer with someone from DTS to find out if what I heard from an unnamed, highly ranked source is actually coming to fruition, and if so, by when? That'll help inform us as we're talking about the plan to suggest painting of Hotel Street. And then lastly, is there any portion of the city that would move to have city workers who use leaf blowers comply with state laws to not use leaf blowers before 8 a.m. on non-Sunday days and 9 a.m. on Sundays? Right now, the city and state employees have an exemption from that rule. I think people would appreciate it if you guys would play along as well. Thank you.
Thank you for the questions. We'll follow up.
Okay, I wanted to ask our board members to authorize the chair to send a letter of strong protest to the return of the needle truck exchange on Kukui Street. If there's no objection from the board, I would like to write that letter to the city in protest on behalf of the board.
Chair, thank you. I strongly recommend that you just do that and not have us vote on it tonight. Thank you.
I don't need to vote. I just want consensus that I'm informing you. And then I also want to call on Senator Rhodes and also our state representative, District 28. Where's Mr. Radcliffe? Yeah, so that
Shalon,
you
I
would support
had
us.
my hand up. I had my hand
Yeah.
up from before.
Oh, who's this?
Kevin McDonald.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let me just finish this so I don't lose my train of thought. So I would like our representative of District 28 and also our senator to object to this needle truck returning to this spot, which is highly traveled by Kapunas and by students. It took us years to have them move away from there, and now they're coming back. This is a slap on our face, you know, Director Santee. I don't know whose great thing to permit it. Who permitted it? Who?
I don't have an answer, Chair, but we can definitely follow up on how that
We will
process works.
Yeah, we definitely register a very strong protest from all of us, and that we would have our senator and our state rep also write to a letter that this is highly insane to do this to the community.
Another
Okay, so I want you-
example.
Yeah, want you
Madam
to
Chair-
inform
sorry.
that whoever made the decision is totally not in tune with our community. And for 4 or 5 years, we've fought this. And now, just by announcement, they're back. This is an outrage. I just want to register that. All right, Bob, I think Kevin first. Yeah.
Well,
Thank you, Chair. I want to thank the members of the community for standing up and speaking out against the homeless problems and the drug problems. I hope our friend is still in the audience. I'd like to remind him that this is his chance to talk to his elected officials as well. But I would like to address with the mayor's assistance our road problem, which he has. I mentioned this 2 months ago, and he mentioned that I refer to the DTS and the Department of Roads, but we have the worst roads in the country. A quick Google search will show that it's not just my opinion. There are several surveys and studies showing Honolulu with the worst roads in the country. And I don't need to be referred to the DTS. This is our mayor's assistant, and I would like to know what the mayor's initiative is to make our roads better. The citizens of Honolulu pay the most in taxes in the country to have our roads maintained. We deserve better than the worst roads in the country. What is the mayor? Thank you,
Okay,
Shulan.
Kevin.
1 second. I just want to know what the mayor's initiative, what the mayor plans to do to improve our roads, not referring to me to some bureaucracy. What is the
Okay,
mayor
thank
gonna
you.
do?
Thank you, Kevin. He got it, but, Robert,
Thank you, Chair.
Robert Amstra, go
Yeah,
ahead.
Madam Chair, I was just going to echo your thoughts about the needle exchange. If true, how offensive it is to the efforts of this neighborhood board and just the willy-nilly do whatever you want administrative approach that we're having from the mayor and his administration. And I might point out to everyone in the room, we don't have to go only a month or two back and have the same insult to this neighborhood board in regards to the development at Kamaili Mini Park that is all of a sudden so silent. We don't know what's going on there. And Ian, I noticed that you didn't report at all on that. I expect, that perhaps we could have follow-up in September for that issue. But these are things that we keep going around and around and around and around. And it is why the public has lost trust in government. And, if we can't do the little things, the details, they'll never be able to do the big things. And so sure would like to
Time's up. Yeah,
have
thank you.
this
Yeah.
taken care
time's
of.
up.
Understood.
Yeah.
We'll address both those questions.
Yeah. Ian, I do have to refer you back to last month on the Monica Street sidewalk, unsafe condition, requesting that the sidewalk be flattened so that it provides safety for handicapped people.
Yes, I remember that.
So I need an update on that.
Okay, we'll add it back to the list. Apologies that it wasn't there, Chair.
This is very important for hundreds of people crossing. It has taken us 7 years to get to this stage. So it needs to be addressed and it needs to be fixed. Okay?
Understood. Yep.
Thank you.
It's even difficult for those of us that are not
Yeah.
disabled to
Yeah.
traverse that spot
Yeah,
without.
so that is priority. Plus the needle truck is not allowed to come back, please. Okay?
Understood.
Priority. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Chair.
Yeah. Anybody else I missed? No? Okay.
Chair, I have my hand raised.
Ross, are you on? Is it second time?
This is my first time.
Okay. All right.
Is that okay?
All right.
I actually have a comment for your proposal to send a letter, if that's okay first. And I did have a question for Ian, so I'll try to be quick. Just in general, as a matter of practice, I would feel more comfortable actually if we did do a vote. If you're gonna write a letter on behalf of the neighborhood board as chair, I think I'd be more comfortable with a vote taken. And if you're doing a letter on behalf of CBCA, I think that's outside of the
You
scope of the
want,
neighborhood board.
want us to vote on the chair writing a letter? There's no need, right?
Well, to take a stance, I mean, because
Go
I'm
ahead.
just thinking out loud, you can write letters about a lot of different things and put the neighborhood board
But I did
letterhead on it.
tell the board I'm gonna write a letter in protest of them returning. I wasn't proposing anything else other than
Yeah.
writing this
No,
letter.
I mean, just as a practice, sorry, I was just thinking, a vote would be a little bit more formal rather than, we were talking about giving the chair too much discretion over things. Just my cooling.
Okay, I have a
Or my-
suggestion for
or my
the
mouth.
the chair of the neighborhood board commission.
Yeah, you really can't take action and that would be an action to vote. However, if this board has voted before, the
Yeah,
chair can write
Because
on
I
behalf
think
of
they
the
all
board.
said, go ahead,
Thank you.
right? So I think Kevin also indicated we didn't want to go through a formal vote, but it's consensus, right? Recorded.
I'm not sure about that, Chair. I just wanted to echo what Member Isakani was saying. My comment earlier was that you should draft a letter, bring it to us next month on the agenda so we can then review it and vote on it. Otherwise, you are taking independent action, or write it but don't sign it as chair of NB 13.
You know what? There's no time. It's another month of waiting and the truck is there. It has to make sense, right? I mean, I don't need to write a letter, wait for next month to get approval for a one sentence, one paragraph letter saying that this board has asked me to write a letter in protest. Yeah.
Chair, thank you. I feel your emotion and passion there, and I just would say then the proper thing to do would be to move to amend the agenda to put that on the agenda so that we can then talk about it unless you feel, and the majority of the board feels, that that is already encompassed somehow in any of the specific agenda items, such as talking to the mayor's rep. However, I don't know if that's sufficiently noticed that that action would allow the public to have come in and provide input to you to write the letter. But we can do it. You just have to go through the steps.
Go ahead, Patrick. This is crazy. This doesn't make any sense.
No, it's
Um,
called democracy.
In my opinion, no, you can't do that. You can't add it to the agenda because it has significant community impact by definition. I mean, by this discussion, what I suggested before, in the past, if you've agreed, you've had taken some action, like to say, we don't want this, then you can just ask the chair, write a letter saying, our board has decided in the past that we don't want this. And so we want you to fix it, or blah, blah, blah. But you can't take a vote. I mean, this,
Yeah.
it's, you just can't.
And what's the chair for if it's not representing the views of the majority of the board? And this is something, an action that's urgently needed to be taken because they just inform us. They cannot just swoop down and park the truck there and keep passing out these needles in opposition to the board already voted, and the board had asked them and they had stopped. And then here they come back. And they never asked the board permission to come back. So Ian, this is a misstep on your guys' part.
No, I
Really.
hear you, Chair. We'll get it cleared up for you, Chair.
So I'm going to be very loud and clear about this. Yeah.
Chair, if I may. Sorry, I know you're, sorry, Chair, if I may, I know I'm online, so I can't see if you're giving me the floor or not. All right, I'm going to assume I have the floor. If I may,
I agree with the chair, Patrick's, because this board wrote and got action to remove the van from coming.
I'm
and
just
then
talking about,
it came back without permission from us, and it was an insult. So I'm not proposing anything new. I'm reminding them that this was action taken and should be respected, and that this board representing all our constituents are against it. So it's not something new, like I'm writing a brand new letter to a lover or something. So stop it already, you guys.
well, Chair, if I may, I don't recall actually taking a vote on this matter in the past, either through a resolution or a motion.
I think
And I'll
you-
just point, and may I, sorry, if I may just point out, I think one of our constituents on the chat has expressed a concern for clarification. So just as a democratic process, I mean, if I feel like we are a deliberative body,
Well,
I'm not
think-
saying we can vote on it now because it's not in the
No,
agenda. But,
Ross, I think the chair of the neighborhood board already said that we are actually reminding them that an action was taken by this board to oppose it, and they're not supposed to be back here. And now they're back here. So there's nothing new other than to repeat that we had sent in opposition, they stopped, and now they came back, surprised us. So, all right, Kevin.
my apologies. I'm not recalling that action in the past.
Chair, thank you. I'm trying actively to support your intent and searching through our list of adopted resolutions. Unfortunately, MCO website doesn't permit index searches of all the resolutions, so it's hard to find out. But I think if we can collectively recall if we wrote a resolution about that or in what year, I think that would give you adequate coverage, as suggested earlier, to proceed.
Camelia, we have resolution of record. I was last year. I recall it was last year that this board.
I remember that you disliked this van, and we agreed that the location was inappropriate, but we did not agree on the van and its services, because one of the public who just said that she found needles in the bushes. Well, that's because we don't have a needle exchange. It's a direct result of the fact that the van isn't available in places where it needs to be. So I think we're kind of crossing some issues here. I would suggest, Chulan, if you feel, as an individual that you want to write this letter immediately, then do so as an individual. But I think as a representative of this board, this has to wait till next month and put it on the agenda.
I have an audience person who wants to offer her opinion.
Hi, Sean again. I'm gonna be very blunt. What's your guys' votes? Like, this is a matter of urgency. It's not like I just found one random needle on the ground. Like, how long ago was this ban not allowed in Chinatown, downtown area? Because this is going on before, like, I've been living in Chinatown again for the past 2 years. And whenever this ban was around, maybe I found like a couple needles. Even HP was asking me, oh, are you the one using it? I'm like, no, I'm not using it. I'm doing the right thing by calling you guys that the needles are here. So when the ban disappeared, there was no needles. And then all of a sudden, 2 weeks ago, there's like 5 needles in the damn bushes. Come on now.
Doug, go ahead. I give up. This is really ridiculous.
This is Doug Pyle, a member of the Kukui Plaza Association. And by the way, this is I do recall attending a meeting where it was reported out the result of this. So I haven't the minutes, but it does remind me of action that this board took. I just want to say as a member of the community, and I know that if this was, to be on the agenda, you would have unanimous support, left, right, center. I mean, people just don't understand that you do not put this kind of activity next to a school. And it's the location that makes no sense,
It's
being within a block,
insane. It's
within a block or so.
Because it
along the walkway.
discussed for many years, and this was the wishes of the people here not to have the van there, and the MD intervened, and so the van left.
Yeah.
And we were informed the van left. We were all happy. So now we just been told that the van has returned.
And it
So
says,
that's why.
and it says nothing against
Yeah.
a program like this. It's
If
just
the
the
board
location.
doesn't want the chair to write the letter, so be it, okay? I would not propose a letter for next month. It's not good enough for me.
Chair, if I may, if you can find a letter or action, then you have my blessing.
No, yeah,
I just
Ross,
simply don't
you're
understand.
wrong. I disagree with
Okay.
you because you guys want to be technical. You think that's the way to do it. You're not representing the people here well. When you want to go on technical 30 days, let other needles thing go around, hurt the children, hurt the kupuna. This is not what you elected to do. Okay?
If I may, Chair,
People
so
first.
I do have a constituent who, I just want to read it because, Nicole Reed just did
So
post.
you guys go ahead and write the letter. I'm not writing the letter. So all these smart guys go write the letter. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you acting very insensibly, in my opinion. So you think it's a power thing? Go ahead and take it. I don't need it. Okay? You write the letter. And you don't represent the board. I'm not representing the board on this matter now. Okay? So you happy? You did a great service to the community? You think you did with this objection? I don't think so. You have really betrayed your own community by doing this. Let's move on. So I have on here Councilman's Tyler Santos is Will here. Kevin, no more discussions over. Yeah. Okay.
Everyone, sorry I couldn't be
Yeah,
there in
I
person.
will.
I'm jumping in during a lively discussion. Chair Schubert Kwok, as you know, our office worked with you a long time on getting this van moved. I'm going to start a conversation with the council member tomorrow. We can reach out to Triple HRC. There's got to be a better location. So hopefully we can help you again with this issue. Couple of other updates, as Bob pointed out, the Roman ruins in Alala Park are gone. The replacement bathrooms we're working with a contractor. The city is working with a contractor on Poway Street. The bus shelter on River Street was removed, and we're adding, the city is adding loading zones. So that should alleviate some of the issues that have been happening around Kekalike Mall with vendors and loading. Also last month, I think it was last month, there was an inquiry about the lights at Smith Baratania Park. So they did look into it, and there are in fact a few lights that are not working. Some of them are cycling on and off every 5-10 minutes. So they put a work order in, and that should be resolved in the coming weeks. Other than that, I think that's all I have for you guys, and I'm happy to take questions.
You guys, question, anybody from the audience? From online? Kevin, you have online. Go ahead. McDonald.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, Chair. I'm just reading my notes here. So I don't have my notes right now, but Hawaii was recently ranked the worst state in the country for small business support, small business to open or operate a small business in. I can't bring up the article now, but this is largely due to our laws and our legislature and our city ordinance as well. The small businesses are the backbone of our community, and we deserve better than to be the worst state and the worst city in the country to open and operate a small business in. So I would like to know what the council members' plan is and agenda is to get us off the very bottom, the worst state and city in the country for running a small business. What does the councilman plan to do to get us off of that horrible, horrible distinction? Thank you.
I saw that too, Kevin. It's shameful. The council member is very focused on removing outdated city regulations, and I could go on and on, but I'll come back with you next month for a better answer on that.
Thank
Okay,
you.
who else have their hands up on this? Online, anyone?
I have my hand up.
Nicole?
Thank you. I'd like to just ask 3 questions, and this can come back with answers next week, or excuse me, next month. Who do we call within the city to have health complaints lodged for feral bird feeding? I'm specifically talking about the space behind, on Kukui Street behind the 2 towers where residents routinely dump leftover food waste. That attracts excessive amounts of birds and then also contributes to the rather unsanitary condition of the sidewalk that we all, have to traverse. And then also includes the chickens as well. The other point on that same topic is the Laifang building, where the building owners, unfortunately, are outside of the business improvement district line. And so their building, despite getting a brand new sidewalk that I think was publicly advertised by the owner, they didn't do any remediation to their existing building to stop the birds from once again building nests on top of their building. So I would like to know who we call to create or lodge health code violations and get those inspected, and or have what efforts the city is wanting to do. I'm thinking posting signs in multi-languages that say, please don't feed the birds here. It is, X and X for this violation, or etc. Any kind of public information would be very helpful on that. My second question is surrounds the Mark's Garage building. We know that Bank of Hawaii has purchased it because they painted it Bank of Hawaii blue. And as far as I'm aware, within our historical regulations and the code for what we can and cannot paint within the district, I was wondering the implications of repainting that building, and if the council member has been in conversation with Bank of Hawaii, or even now the Business Improvement District, because I believe that falls in their purview. And then my last question also includes the Business Improvement District. The CM was really the #1 supporter in it expanding to include all of the business district, which of course created a huge increase for the improvement district's budget. I believe I looked online, and I think the events alone has, I want to say $60,000 in its budget. So, with that in mind, I've been a leaseholder on Hotel Street for years, and we've done studies to include our community in that business improvement district because we need the services the most. But our businesses and landowners, unlike across the street of Bethel, they aren't large corporations. They aren't massive groups like Avalon, yet they benefit from what we bring below Nu'uanu Street. So it's very frustrating, and I'd like to know if the CM has plans to go ahead and lobby as vehemently as he did for having us included all the way down to River so that we can also get the services that we need. Those are my 3 questions. Thank you for the time.
Yeah, of course. First question, feral chickens, that's a Department of Customer Services question. So I would reach out to them. They're kind of our go-to for the feral chicken situation. Second question, Mark's Garage, Bank of Hawaii. I'm not aware of any conversations we had with Bank of Hawaii about painting. That would probably fall into like a DPP, like permitting for repainting things. If you'd like to reach out to me, I can put my contact into the chat and I can follow up about that. Third question about the Business Improvement District. It was a lot of conversations that led to downtown and Chinatown being separated. The thinking at the time was that you have these big banks, you have these big corporations with a lot of money, with a lot of square footage, and they're going to have a vote that outweighs Chinatown. And the concern was the needs of Chinatown and the nature of businesses in Chinatown is very different than those in downtown. We didn't want to see a situation where Bank of Hawaii was voting on what should happen on Mauna Kea Street. We are actively looking into how to create Chinatown's own business improvement district. What would assessments look like? You know, the city owns 40% of those properties. So it's a complicated situation, but we are actively looking into that. And we're working with Chair Schubert Kwok to explore ways to make sure that Chinatown can also benefit from the same things that downtown's benefiting from. But they are very different communities, and council member recognizes that. And that's kind of why we didn't want to lump in Chinatown with downtown, because they are very different.
I need to cut
I
you
hope
off.
that answers your questions.
Maybe
Sorry.
you can write email because I still have a few things left on the agenda. It's already about 12 minutes left. So thank you so much, Will. Can you send an email to Nicole to answer her questions? And I have Senator
Absolutely.
Rhodes. Yeah, please. He waited all this time. I'm sorry. It got so long.
Nope.
Yeah.
No problem. Hi, everyone. So as you are probably all aware, we're in the middle of an election. Saturday is the last day. Just a reminder that your ballot has to be received by 7 p.m. on Saturday, not just mailed, unlike the IRS. So at this point, it probably doesn't make any sense to mail it. It's better to take it, to be sure it gets there in time. It's better to take it to a drop box. And there again, you have to have it in the drop box by 7 p.m. on Saturday. You can also vote in person both tomorrow and on Saturday at the Voter Service Centers. The closest one for almost everybody in Senate District 13 is at Honolulu Hale. And if you're going to actually vote in person, then you need to be in line by 7 p.m. on Saturday. But as long as you're in line, you can still vote. Dropbox locations can be found at honolulu.gov/elections/official-drop-box-locations. And I think I mentioned already. Yeah, I did. Okay. And then if you can follow up, no matter how you vote, you can follow up on the Office of Elections webpage, which is elections.hawaii.gov. And on the right side, go to the link, sign up for ballot notifications, and you can find out whether they've received it and whether it's being processed or if there's any problems.
Senator, thank you. I'm going to ask anybody with questions online or in the audience or from board members to email you. And I need to call on Representative Coco.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Eva Moro.
Thank you. Good
Stay
evening.
here. Yeah.
Yes, first of all, I just want to clarify that Princess Ke'e Middle School is in District 25, which is the district I represent. So I will go and have a conversation with the Needle Exchange Program and the organization that they work with, just to inquire and learn more about if they've looked into other locations. So thank you for that. Also, I wanted to speak to the leaf blower noise. It is on my list of prospective bills to introduce next session. And it's specifically the Department of Health identifies that leaf blowing in commercial or industrial zones, it can start earlier than if it's in a residential area. But for many of this urban core area, we have like a car dealership using leaf blowers at 6 in the morning right next door to a residential condominium tower. And so that does pose problems. So we're going to look at maybe saying that if there's a commercial property within, 50 yards of a residential a property, that they must follow the restrictions that apply to residential. And then
I have one more representative to finish up on 8.7. So I thank you. Thank you so much. Mr. Radcliffe, yeah.
Hi, everyone. I'm going to keep this short. So first of all, school is back in session. I want to remind everyone that the legislature recently made changes where a family of 4 who makes less than $113,000 a year qualifies for their student or child qualifies for free breakfast and lunch. Before that, it was around 75,000 was the cap. Again, voting. Excuse me. Let me check real quick. The one thing I wanted to bring up is, okay, I have a question. Do you think that 888 Ivale apartments is within your jurisdiction, downtown Chinatown? No? Okay. And so neither that or 215 North King Street. You're right, it's not in the district. I do think that Ivale Road should be a part of the downtown Chinatown neighborhood board. And there are changes. Sorry, you can, the NCO is allowing a redistricting for the neighborhood boards. I think it'd be a really good idea because of the transit-oriented development coming in the areas. And I also want to add that there are members from 888 Ivale Road who constantly attend this meeting and is not in the jurisdiction technically. So I think it'd be a really great idea to include Ivale Road within Neighborhood Board 13's jurisdiction. And I just would like to hear your thoughts. Is that something the board has talked about or is in favor of? Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Because I got a few more to finish up in 7 minutes, 10 minutes. So sorry. Keep it short, Iris. For the water supply.
I'm really short. It's going to be September. We have Imagine a Day Without Water. It's a flyer I passed out. They'll be online. Just want to have the date is Saturday, September 26th, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. But it's in Waianae, the Ark of Safety at Waianae Mall, 86120 Farrington Highway. So that's it. And I will mention it again next month. Okay, thank you
so much. And then I think Harry is not here. He sent in the report and
No, I'm here.
Oh, you here? Oh, okay. Hi.
Yeah, but good evening, everyone. I'm here, but I don't have too much to report, and I can just be available for any questions.
Real quick.
Harry, I'm just curious, why was a pillar placed right at the foot of New Waianae Avenue as driving down to the harbor? It's a big eyesore. Thank you.
Send him an email. Okay. All right. Next report is DOT is not here, right? Is here? No. Okay. Then Chinatown Business Community Association. Dan, could you please read the report?
Sure. Yeah, we had our meeting on July 14th. We also had the 3rd Hawaii Chinatown Peace Festival in partnership with Weed and Seed Hawaii, which was at Mauna Kea Marketplace on the 18th. The festival was the result of 1 year of planning and featured a diverse celebration of Chinatown's cultures through music, dance, and activities. We had 29 food vendors, an approximate 4,800 attendees, and the official opening ceremony and blessing was conducted by Izumo Taisha Temple, which was pretty cool. Community and Safety and Business Report. We continue to work closely through the CST, Town Security Team, HPD, and CORE to improve public safety throughout Chinatown, and these efforts have contributed to a noticeable reduction in crime and homelessness-related issues within the district. The increased sense of safety and activity has also benefited the businesses, restaurants, and tour operators by encouraging more visitors. Ongoing, what we still plan to do going forward, strengthening Chinatown security, organizing more cleanup efforts, educating merchants and shoppers about the importance of supporting legitimate businesses, by discouraging the purchase of illegal goods and foods sold by unlicensed vendors operating under unsanitary conditions. The next meeting will be on August 12th, and we look forward to working with you going forward. Thank you.
Kevin, real quick, 3 minutes.
Chair, the Neighborhood Citizen Patrol will graciously defer its report for activities in July till next month, but I do have an immediate question. Thank you. Regarding the minutes that were approved for July, there was mention made that on this month's agenda, there'd be a discussion about the timing of our meetings for this coming term. I think there are some discussions about days or times. Didn't show up on the agenda, so if that can be added to next month, I think we'd appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay, put that on agenda for next month for time, date for meeting, which is actually, I thought we have consensus generally to keep all the meeting on Thursday at 6 p.m. here.
To tell you the truth, Chair, you don't have to do that. That's
Yeah.
not required. That's required every 2 years at the beginning
Yeah.
of the term.
So I don't think you need to put it on because the way we're here now and everybody knew that it's going to be 6 o'clock on Thursday. So let's skip that. All right, next meeting is going to be September the 3rd, 2026 at 6 p.m. at the same place. Oh, I'm sorry. Kevin Lai, you have a report on your Citizen Patrol? 1 minute.
Chair, thank you again. The patrol graciously deferred its report until next month. Thank you.
Okay, so I thank you, everyone. Meeting is adjourned.